Aaron, you scared the shit out of me. You scared the shit out of me, dude. I forgot I was in call, too. OBS was freaking the fuck out. OBS was freaking out. All I heard was, hello, Sid, and then they couldn't hear me because my microphone on their end was muted. I gotta... I was like, I'm in call? What the fuck? Okay. I am... they said just a second, because they're not ready yet. And said to go without them for a little bit.
Oh, okay. I just sent them a message right before you said anything.
Yeah.
Okay, one second. I'm switching you over to my phone.
To my phone.
Dude, you telling me I was scared you made me think of the fucking Deltarune Queen laughing track.
What?
I don't know how to explain it.
Oh my gosh. I gotta turn on my music real quick. Hold up.
Oh my god. This girl straight and this girl definitely ain't. Said you as straight as the bendy ruler.
Now, why would you say that?
You're straight as a fucking dummy worm.
Oh my gosh.
Girl, if you were straight, the universe wouldn't be on fire.
What the fuck? Who are you?
I am God.
No, you aren't. Yo, 5 consecutive streams, and you've got a watch streak? Let's fucking go.
I'm the change God. And only some people understand what that fucking means.
What the fuck? Okay, let's join a run. 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 Join run.
I'm with you.
Join a run. Huh? Go damn? Yo?
I'm very confuzzled.
I'm not leaving with only 3 people.
What trinkets do I normally do for a fee?
I don't know. A go. There's 3 Louis in here. Watch me be the last one. You gotta go. Go, 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 go. I think I left without you. I think I left without you. I think I left without you.
Come back.
I'll die. I'll see how far this gets me. I'll see what this stream goes as. I want to, or not the stream. This run.
I'm fine just chilling on In Stars in Time, which your viewers should totally play.
Bruh.
I'm gonna keep plugging this.
Bruh. You missed it. Dude, you missed it. Aaron scared me. Aaron, I know. I literally, he sent the message right whenever I was like, yeah, they said wait. They said to go, like, they said to go without me. You know, what if I take this bottle of pop? Never mind.
Wait, is mate in the comment section of your tweet?
What?
Is mate there, Salem?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep calling him mate, because it's easier than fucking calling him
What the
Salem.
fuck is this Astro doing? Why are they like why are they like up his ass? What the hell? Because he literally, like, he scared me because, like, I was just sitting there waiting for my timer to go off, and he was like, "Hello, Sid." Okay, everybody's on a machine.
They had forgotten they were in a VC, so I popped in, said, "Oh, hi, Sid."
Like, bro was like, "Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Sid. Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier." Why do my videos keep on getting... You know the search thingy on, like, TikTok? Whenever it's like, search this.
God, can we talk about how TikTok is just...
Tamponia Dandy's World is all I see. On the bottom. On the bottom.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just about to say TikTok has
It
become
just
extremely-
says Tamponia. Who the fuck is Tamponia? Why are they a tampon? Why is Astro on one heart? Oh wait, no, I know. I know exactly. Astro, stay up please for me. Please don't walk in front of me. Bro said, like, bro.
The funny
What the
thing
fuck?
is, Aaron texted
Funniest
me at
thing.
4:15 my time telling me to join while you texted me at 3:57.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was like... I literally I told him. They said to wait.
Right as I was pressing enter on the message to tell you to hurry up and join.
Thank you for helping me make it to floor 28. Oops, sorry. This is floor 2.
You don't get no me time.
Why is Shelly just staring at me? Why are they, like, following me? Bro, I'm just trying to go around trying to find the machine, and you're just following me, bro? You're the
But you don't get
distractor,
no
not
me
me!
You don't hang out with me enough to earn me time. You need to hang out with me. So
What?
what's up? Nothing.
What?
I'm messing with Mateo because we don't hang out
You know, what if I die to Ellie?
for a while. Yes, you should die to Ellie.
Salami!
I said mate. Why are you saying salami?
Salami! Salami!
Oh, I thought mate said salami. I was so confused.
Salami! Salami! Man, salami sounds so good right now. I'm gonna stay in this corner.
When was the last time I talked about how your name changed from Sans Undertale to now Sans Deltarune?
What? You fucking changed it?
I changed it back to Sans Undertale.
You changed it to Sans Deltarune?
I changed it back to Sans Undertale, but yes, your nickname was Sans Deltarune for a
What
little
the
bit.
hell? They're saying, well... I'm being the average... Dude, they're having me time. Let them have me time, bro. We gotta have our me time.
They don't get no me time.
What the hell? Why
The
can I
only
not
me
have
time they
time?
get is in meat. And they don't eat meat, so no meat for them.
Why don't I get meat time?
You get meat time?
Meat time. Meat?
Yo, gang, I love meat time. Sid, are you
I
gonna
don't
be
either.
joining me? Or
Yeah.
do I need to join you? Either way is fine.
I'm returning to the lobby. Who will I join? I do not know.
Why are people lining up to me? Help. I'm just standing
Is
here.
it just the random run where the people just like line up to you for a run when you're just AFK? Because that happened to me
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, I just
Like, bro was trying to be like, ABC, normal run, let's wait for my friend Louie to join. And I was just like, I was AFK. I was making food. Like, I was literally AFK, and I, like, came back to
Once
them being like, they're AFK, we gotta wait. And I'm like, why are you starting our run?
Sid, are you with the Shrimpo?
No.
Oh. I'm
How much
just
is that?
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
What are we saying? What the hell? What are we saying that to? What? I'm confused.
He just went flying.
We literally just went flying. What the fuck?
I think I missed something. I didn't see anything.
You did.
Oh my gosh, what the fuck did we just witness?
Am
Where
I-
the hell did they go? Where did they
Wait,
go? Are they like,
Wait, what's happening? Wait,
where
I'm
did
still
V
looking at
even
my-
go?
I
Am I
don't.
confused? Am I still?
What the hell? Y'all are both 2 stars.
I know,
Two
but
stars still.
Am I still gonna be semi with the just distracting V
Yeah.
when the time comes?
Yeah. Let's join a run.
Okay.
Let's join this run. They're not gonna make it to 100 floors. This is just gonna be a fucking normal run. Go.
Go, gadget.
Did y'all get in? Go, Power Rangers.
Instant. Did they change it?
Yeah, they changed it so whenever you have 8 people, it just immediately goes.
Yeah, so that way you don't have to wait.
Well, that's nice quality of life.
Who's distracting? Me. Nah, imagine.
Okay, do we have backup? Oh, well.
Goob.
Goob backup.
Goob
Me
backup.
backup.
Goob is backup. Bro went to glisten. Cosmo is named Unicorn Stars, bro.
That's funny.
I kind of also put my trinkets. I didn't realize.
Oh my gosh. Bro is distracting Bro's distractor Shelly.
Chris not even using the right trinkets for
I
Shelly.
said I accidentally. I didn't have enough time.
Distractor Shelly, bro. Aaron, I want to see you distract now.
I
Bro
probably
can't do
can
it.
get
He's not gonna
that.
be able to.
I haven't distracted in forever.
Screw you.
Hey, don't go that way. Tisha's over there.
Yeah, I know. I saw.
Yoink.
Listen, you're not getting my machine. Go find a different machine.
Eject button? They're acting like eject button is like Jesus Christ.
What are
Can
you
I
talking
ex-
about?
You know what's
Bottle
funny about this glisten? He's asking me for the machine, right? But because my target arrow is on him, I can't see what he actually said.
Be okay up here. Louis, bottle of pop. You want it or not?
Yes. Where are
Get
you?
your ass up on the stage before Shelly
bottle
takes
of pop?
it. Not
Oh,
for
no.
you.
I don't want it.
Move, Louis. Move. What the hell are you doing? Why did you just...
So, right there.
Okay. Yoink. Can I get hit and panic? Why?
No.
What the fuck? Why do you want to get hit and panic?
Why do you want to get hit?
That's a good question. God damn it!
Why?
What?
Can I have that machine?
Yeah.
Yay!
Flipping weirdo.
I'm gonna drop a heart.
Listen, I need to do something.
I'm dropping a heart.
Alright,
Heart's
that's fine.
dropped.
Dude, okay, Mateo, can I
What?
send you streams of this game where they actually voice act everything? So you get
No.
to enjoy the story, but you don't have to
No.
read it.
No.
No?
No?
Bro's
No?
gonna get me into a game.
Can I send you a 30-minute video on the game? Can I send you something for this game?
Hey Salami, what's the update on the last machine?
I'm
Almost
gonna-
done.
There aren't
Okay.
a lot of gifts, but I will keep sending you gifts. This is one
Where
of
the
my
fuck
new
did
favorite
Cosmo
gifts.
go? Where the fuck did Cosmo go? What the hell?
Elevator.
No. Oh my god.
What?
Bro. Louis, what the
Listen,
fuck are
if
you
don't get
doing?
your ass in the elevator.
Listen.
Another Louis is in. Another Louis is outside of there.
Okay.
I think Bro's gonna die. Bro's definitely gonna die. Oh, Bro didn't die.
I exist as a goob for a reason. However, people are in my way, so it kind of makes it a little bit harder.
Sorry if I was in your way. I was
He can make the chances of a band or med pop up more.
Who?
Wait, what? Well, that's too bad. We ain't got Astrostro. He can make the chances of a... What the fuck?
He actually doesn't, so I don't know what lies they're spitting out.
Unless they're
What
talking
are you
about
on
Samantha.
about?
No, they're talking about Astro and how Danny would give like more band-aids and medkits. That is
Why would
Give me that.
sense? Oh.
Aaron, why are you running to that?
I mean, I kind of was too, but I kind of like paused.
Hey, Roger's here, so be careful.
You know some people
No,
aren't gonna
he
be careful.
cannot. There's a bottle of pop. I am going to grab it.
Yes,
I-
that's, you can have it.
I want to give Mateo wait.
Didn't know that? No, because it's not even true. It's fabricated. What kind of myths are you talking about?
I don't
If
know.
I play Astro and then we get more band-aids, then maybe. But I'm just gonna call that a coincidence.
Coincidence? I think not.
I'm sorry, that would have definitely been documented by now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're a role player.
I think so too.
Nah, you do. Well, now I think you're lying, because I don't believe that. I think that's a lie.
I don't have any eyes on Roger, so that's
I do.
terrifying. Okay.
It's like right behind Cosmo.
I almost
Okay.
said that.
Don't touch the Roger.
I don't want to touch Roger, he's not my type.
Someone touched Roger. Listen, get the fuck away. Get the fuck in the elevator.
Get in the elevator. Who's get? Oh my god, I'm gonna kill him.
Whoa! What did I do?
Okay, mostly everyone. Okay, you're fine. Mostly everyone.
Sorry, I didn't look.
I don't care about your sorry or not sorry. I got a job to do. Don't make it harder than it needs to be.
I swear these are children.
I almost used my eject button, but by accident. Bro.
Oh,
Bro. You said this was a floor 100 run. Watch everybody fucking die to Razandaz.
Oh, hey, Razandaz. There's a box of chocolate in there.
I'm yoinking that. I just want speed.
I'm going to...
Sid, you have one still. I don't want to hear it.
Razandaz is awake.
I know, because I woke him up.
Why?
Who activated?
Who activated him?
Anything, anyone? Don't say anything.
Don't say anyone.
I swear to God, if
think
that's me,
T.
I'm gonna
I
be
think it was
pissed
basic
off.
Louis.
Can I extract?
Do whatever the fuck you want, Froggy.
Can I extract?
First serve.
First come.
serve, alright? Shut up, Sid.
What? I didn't do nothing. Damn. Collective mind, but too weird to love, too scared to die. Cosmo better get the fuck in.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ, where is every... Get your ass in here.
Get
Listen,
in
you're
the elevator.
my way. It's kind of annoying.
Let people like that. We'll get to the damn extraction then.
I have... What the fuck, Yada?
I can't afford the.
I can't either. I found one, though.
I can't,
Oh, no.
I can't either. I can't buy it.
I used a bottle of pop for this.
Wild.
Oh, good for you. You can afford it. Good for you. Go kill yourself.
Dude, I swear to God, if Wilson gets in my way again, I think I'm gonna stay in front of the elevator. I'm gonna throw him out the goddamn
I
window.
want this, but I can't have it. Can you get it?
Can I have it?
Yes.
I'll do it for me.
Yeah. Who'd wanna be even any? I can't.
Demon child.
Ah!
Oh my god. That
So
was
if
too
you
loud.
love me, let me let you go, my love. If you find Boxton, can you bring him to me?
Yeah. I think Louis found Boxton. I found my machine.
Oh, I
Boxton
got
didn't hear it.
Boxton.
Like, I'm surprised Boxton didn't hear it. I found my fucking skill check.
Yeah, he was like right there. He just kept on walking.
He was fucking alley. I'm like right across from it. I failed my skill check. He didn't hear it.
Bro's deaf.
Dude,
Bro literally is.
What the fuck are you doing, Aaron?
I'm just looking for stuff to do. I'm not used to these maps.
Yeah, these are the new ones, so I'm not faulting him for it.
Slay!
I wish I had my GTE, but I didn't trade out my ability on cooldown sticker for it. My bad. Not like I'm gonna type out GTE because everyone's gonna blame me for failing my skill check. Now, can
I think
everyone
you're the
go?
only one left. You're the last one in the elevator, bro.
Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
We don't need
What
fucking
do we need
health.
medicine for?
What do we need medical attention for, bro? What the fuck?
Oh, and someone wanted practice.
Cosmo wanted medical attention for some reason. I need a machine for this dumb stopwatch. Well, then find one yourself. You could take one I didn't. What?
What?
Aaron, what are you doing? Why are you going immediately? Did you say Jojo?
Jojo?
Jojo
Let's
Siwa?
go gambling.
Jojo's Bizarre Adventure?
The gayest anime out there? That's not even true. There's so many gayer ones.
Do,
Summer,
do,
what are you doing
do,
here?
do,
Waiting
do,
for
do,
them to
do,
play
do,
Game
do,
Comes
do,
By.
do, 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 do. Did you fucking boost me?
Maybe.
Did you boost me? What the fuck? Chat, why did Aaron boost me?
Because you're
You
my
needed
friend.
motivation.
I was giving you some motivation.
Extraction
Exactly.
speed
Motivation.
while I'm
Because I
distracting?
didn't know where you were and Sid was next to me. So.
Lame. Oh, hey.
Loose lips like this, but the
I
fact
didn't
that
get
I
slowed
need
because
to
I'm
down.
awesome.
Love
said
trouble,
Finn.
go overboard. Yeah, I got Finn and
I didn't
Tisha.
get slowed. Hey, what's up?
Going
whenever
downtown all alone.
I love the whistle. Whistle is so good.
Doo doo.
Which is why I'd be able to
Gee.
distract the...
Gang, guess who's calling out of work tomorrow?
I don't.
It's
don't have
me. Dude, work pissed me off so badly. And plus they were already bitching about me having too many hours of overtime, so hey, I'm just gonna call out.
Fair enough. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Glisten wasted his thing. Okay, everyone's here. Glisten, move!
What is those people
Right.
standing on the elevator?
Glissen's like in front of it, so it makes it harder for me to do anything. Jesus. Can everyone move to the back of the elevator so I can do my fucking job? It has a crash out. I'm screen recording. Okay, good. Good for you.
So Goop can do his job.
I have a job.
Winning
That's-
Ellie.
Oh my
Please
God.
get to the back so Goob can do his
Only time
job.
Google ever be employed.
Goob's working full time, 50 hours a week, 2 kids, no health insurance.
2
There's
kids.
the band-aid. Someone's probably gonna yoink it though.
I don't need a band-aid.
I'll stay with Glisten.
I mean, I can
What's
do
okay, I
him.
got it. You be good, God. Jesus, never do that again.
I'm just gonna keep following you. I'm right behind you.
You were scaring me.
I'm right
I don't
behind
have any
you.
seatbelts on me.
What is the Q button for?
What is the what?
The Q button.
How am I supposed to know what the Q button is for? Oh, stickers, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
Listen, what the fuck are you doing? You fucking idiot. You actual fucking idiot. Aaron, did you watch that? Did you see that?
Yep, I did. I saw that entire thing because I was watching both you and Mateo being fucking stupid.
No, did you watch Glisten being a fucking idiot? Something
Yes,
is
I saw him
fishy.
walk in the middle of your.
Literally. What the fuck? Why did Poppy latch off? Why is everybody at Glisten right now? Did I just see everybody at Glisten?
Yeah, pretty much.
my gosh. You need to get away.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, let's just go.
Get to the back of the motherfucking elevator.
Do they not know how to listen?
Nope.
Game! Elevator! Back! Now!
Don't pull him.
Well, no, I had to pull Gigi.
Oh.
because Gigi was back.
No, we're going Avarice.
Well, we have slow extractors too.
Yeah, but
We have slow extractors.
fine.
My thingy is glitching again.
Then
What do you
fucking
mean you're
die.
greedy? What does that mean?
My thingy is glitching, guys.
Not needed.
What does that mean?
There is a med kit.
Can I have it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Gigi,
guess
get your
what?
ass over here. There's a med
I'm
kit
like, oh, where?
down at the bottom. Over here. Do you see it?
No. Oh, wait, yeah, I see it. Okay, I'm grabbing it. Just
Okay.
in case. Thank you.
That Gigi was trying to grab it, bro. Gigi was literally trying to grab it.
I don't know
Dude,
why.
Gigi can get his
Oh,
own
medkits up
thing.
her head.
Literally.
Uh,
Oh, wait.
Bro said
Cosmo.
goob. Wait, we have
I
Cosmo?
forgot we had a Cosmo. I forgot we had a Cosmo. That's my bad.
they said they were filled on meds.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you need the
like,
med? Well,
They
first
said
of
I have
all,
2 bands and a med.
oh. Well, I mean, I don't really need the med till I go on 1 HP, but it's fine. Jeez.
I just don't. Why are they all like?
Why are they so pissy?
I thought this was supposed to be like a pro run, not a.
They said
Oh,
floor
this is-
100 run, bro.
Literally, why does it freaking matter?
Right?
Dude, I'm sorry. Who thinks they're gonna get to floor 100?
They said
There's
big
two
box. I'm
more.
assuming that's a box of chocolates. Do you want it?
My inventory's full.
Oh.
I have my bottle of pop, the med kit, and the air horn.
I have a bottle of pop, a box of chocolates, and a med kit.
I have a bottle
Almost
of
the same
pop,
layout.
a box of chocolates, and a band-aid.
I love how your only way to say no is stay away.
It's stay away.
Stay away!
Ew. I don't touch the gays.
I don't touch the game.
I don't touch the gays. Stay away.
Wait, where did that come from? I forgot where.
You're right, Sid. You're as straight as a bendy ruler.
I'm as straight as a
Okay,
pole.
1, 2, I guess I'll pull plus in it.
No.
A pole dancing pole. That's how I'm straight. That's how straight. There's a band-aid right there.
Yeah!
I'm just gonna grab it for the fucking bit.
What the fuck are you
Not
doing?
having that. I'm just gonna. I can afford 1 med. I can afford 1 med kit too.
I can afford a med too. It bandit is.
Which is me. We have Obsidian Rock Boy, and then we have Don Dozo, because I still have not changed mate fucking nickname yet.
Which I love this.
Shut up!
Brightney and Tisha. Oh, Brusha's here too. So we have 3.
My mom doesn't fucking love you.
I said GG. I got Brightney.
Okay, I'm going to the broken. I'm at broken.
Playing a little risky with you right now.
Run.
There you go.
Okay, I need to find
I think I know
Tisha.
where Tisha is. Yeah, I see Tisha.
Okay.
Tisha's following someone.
No, Cosmo is stacked with meds. I mean, yes. What?
Lily, what the fuck are you doing?
I need to gamble real.
I need to
That's
gamble.
the realest thing I've ever heard. I need to gamble. So real.
I need to start taking some of the tapes.
I need to gamble, but I can't. Wild. Yeah, you do.
Boo.
You're richer than me. What do you mean? You have 161. I have 118.
I have 135.
Well, you get some from
Whee!
extracting.
My average machine intake is 1.
One.
1 per machine.
1.
Quite literally, at this point.
Oh.
That is my average machine that I get to do.
I also do about one machine or.
GG's on the last, by the way, so.
I do 0.
I know you do 0 because you're distracting.
Teehee.
Tee. I feel my computer brightness. I had it all the way down because I was, well, not all the way down, mostly down. Because I was listening to, where's my, thank you.
Speaking of listening to stuff.
Okay, where's the sits? There is the sits.
Someone
Oh, there's someone. Oh, it's Gigi.
Like, what else is missing? Paste, I guess, 'cause someone's on paste. Do we really need suppression?
Damn you.
No.
Damn you.
Oh,
Damn
wanted
you.
suppression. Well, mostly
Damn
everyone-
you.
Mostly everyone wanted well-paced, I'm sorry.
Damn
I
you.
went along with it.
They went with me at first.
It was kind of half and half, actually. It was 3 well-paced.
Ugh,
So, I found a band-aid on the floor.
I can't grab it.
This is the-
There's a med kit on the floor as
I
well.
can't grab-
Poor Cosmo. Cosmo picked up the band-aid.
Listen, what the fuck are you doing, you fucking idiot? Oh my god. I was trying to grab Poppy and Glisten literally got right up to me, walked right to the Twisteds.
Bleh.
Fucking idiot.
It's crashing out live on stream.
Fucking idiot. Why are Glistens getting in the way? Like, bro, you are a twink. Get the fuck out. You should know what to do. You should know what to do. You're a twink. You should have the gay walk. You should be smart.
You know who has the gay walk? Dial. Dial
Yeah.
times Lou.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just trying to find machines. I didn't realize you were right there. My bad.
Glisten has the fucking, like,
The only reason I'll get in the middle of what Sid is doing is because I know I have higher stealth than them.
yeah.
Only reason.
Glisten literally is like a deer in the fucking headlights.
God damn it. If Cosmo wasn't right there, you would have gotten it, but then my fucking...
They need to get the fuck to the elevator.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm almost done.
Louie, get your ass to the elevator. Where the fuck are you going? What the fuck are you doing, you fucking idiot? Get the fuck away from me.
What the crap?
Jeez.
We're trying to get to floor 100, not floor 10, okay?
Literally. What's up? What's up?
Gigi, get your butt away.
What's up?
Oh,
What's
you're the
up?
last one?
Yeah.
Get your butt here. I'm so confused because it's like, what is Gigi trying to do? I got distracted by Gigi.
Don't let me die, you two. I'll be back.
Okay, I'll kill ya.
No.
I'll kill ya.
Don't do that. So I'll just pull Aaron in if he doesn't get back.
Yeah.
Before the elevator.
It's only culture. It's only culture. It's only culture's not your friend.
Ultra's damn, alright, shit.
It's only culture and it's more afraid of you than you're afraid. Come on, drink that blood, and they want your blood. So I apologize when you turn. What the fuck are you doing? Get the. Oh my god, Yada. Oh my god. Yada. Get the hell away from me, bro. Hi, Finn. Got him. Like, Zoink Scoob. What the fuck are you doing? My chat's deader than dead.
Well, I don't know what you want me to do about that, mate. Oh, hi, Finn.
Yeah, Finn's here.
Yeah. I figured that out once I pulled, once I finished the machine.
Your mom. Doing your mom. Doing your mom. Doing your mom. Doing your mom. Doing
I
your
don't know
You and your mom. Balls deep.
Okay, calm down. Am I going to do my machine? No. 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 Stay away. I can't even say politely no. So my thing is also just stay away. They need a no sticker.
Literally, that's what I was saying. What the fuck, Cosmo? What the fuck?
What?
He healed me.
Oh. Cosmo. Everyone's just gonna have to get into the alley because I already pulled in a certain tune. My ability. So. I saved.
Cosmo,
I
what was
saved
that
my
for? Don't.
No.
No.
No. No. No. No. Not while Aaron is AFK.
I'm back. I'm confused.
No, we're not choosing dial.
You.
Thanks for saving me. I didn't realize I had this one. Enough work would be done, especially with this crew.
Oh, it's okay. Dude, I know. I was gonna pull you in anyways. I didn't come out, so.
Great, now I have to do this because Toodle's here. I can't even, like, I gotta find Yada and Finn. Like, bro, why did he heal
We
me?
could do it. Wild. We're not doing dial.
I found Yada.
Not now. Okay, cool.
I need to find Finn. I do not know where Finn is.
That's here
So,
again.
Yeah.
what is the reward for doing dial?
Oh, Cosmo's also here. Oh my god, Louie, what the fuck?
Yeah, we just get.
Oh my god.
We get like 50 stamina for completing.
Oh my god, Louie. You're going to get us both killed. You got yourself killed, fucking idiot. Okay, come on. Get the fuck away from them.
Do you want me to watch over Finn? I can do that if you want.
I got it. My thing is glitching so ad. What the fuck do you... Oh, so bad. Dude, you literally ran right at them. Bottle of pop?
Bottle of pop.
Nah.
If you want it, you can have it. I don't know where it is, but.
I need to find another emergency band.
Idiots.
Yeah. I
Floor
could-
100 run!
Floor 100 run my ass.
Go on
Literally.
floor 11 and one person's already dead, and for fuck's sake, 3 other people are useless.
I'm useless.
What the fuck are you doing, Gigi? Why the fuck were you over here?
Back at the elevator now. Please and thank you.
Bro.
Peas and carrots. Carrots and peas. Look at these nuts.
Oh my god, I'm gonna kill everyone. Except for you and Aaron. He's so
Oh
bad.
my god.
Oh my god, I'm Saren.
I got
That's
an
an
Aaron.
exotic name.
I'm not gonna get that.
I already have a bottle of pop. What the fuck? Oh, Cosmo might live. I might keep Cosmo alive. Everyone else is dead to me.
He healed me whenever I was at 2.
Yeah, I
He
don't know
healed
what
me
the
for
fuck
no
is that.
fucking reason.
Honestly, I don't know why either. That was kind of weird. Why did I get pinged in the server? Why is there an announcement? What's that?
Which server?
Am I getting fired?
Gambling.
Like, am I getting fired from my job as a Twitch mod? No, I'm not. Okay.
Toodles is here yet a fucking again. I fucking hate this child.
Prime it? Why should I prime it? Who's here?
I think it's because it's Finn or something.
No.
It's not like I get slowed down if I
Literally.
They.
What do you mean, please someone prime it?
Like, it's not like I get slowed down if I
Don't
prime
prime it.
If you
Don't
find
prime it.
one, bring it to the broken elevator.
Vin's not even here. Why the fuck should I prime it?
Exactly.
I don't know who else is here, but I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna risk it for the biscuit.
Like, what's the point of priming it? Finn's not even here. Like, see, I get it if someone didn't have the train whistle and was like, and there was Finn and they were doing the closest machine to Ellie. But
Oh, it's Roger.
why should I?
Dude, floor 12, we don't start priming machines until like 15.
Literally,
Yeah.
unless if there's a pebble or something.
Oh yeah, no, if there's a pebble, you prime that shit.
Yeah, you prime that shit so you can get everybody safe.
Yeah.
Hey, Sid, is anyone in the machine in the corner over there?
Nope.
Wow, people are not doing their jobs.
Hey, I'm doing mine. I did 2 machines so far.
Not you. I was meaning the other people here.
As well, so.
Let me let.
Because I'm on my third
Only
machine,
ever
you've done 2
noticed
machines.
what's in front of it. Literally.
Damn.
Yeah.
Same page, yet I'm getting old here. Come on.
Oh, Ash
What
Extraction.
the
Listen, do
heck?
your job.
I can drink your
You
blood
bastard
if you
extraction.
drink.
Same with you, yada.
Drink me.
The second fastest extraction here.
Owie! Owie!
Are you okay?
No! Nobody warned us!
Sorry.
Who else was missing?
GG.
GG. GG.
Look at you and your tiny ass head. We'll give you first aid.
Game.
We.
Do you not want first aid?
I'm the only one at 1.
It doesn't matter. You're the only one who needs it.
Let's just hope for Pebble?
No.
Imagine.
Let's just hope for Pebble?
Let's hope it's not Pebble.
Connor, not there.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, how did I lose Cosmo but I didn't lose Shrimpo? It's Connie. Cosmo, what the fuck? Why didn't you see me? Can someone please, like, tell Cosmo, like, get the fuck over here. Twisted Cosmo, by the way. What the fuck? Oh my god, you just went, like, so fast.
Yeah, I have speed.
Yeah, bro. The 3 machines got
Oh
finished.
my
almost
gosh,
instantly.
they literally did.
Hey, Sid.
What?
Buddy.
What?
Potato.
Oh my gosh, how?
You
Bro,
understand?
how? Don't latch him on Yada.
I didn't mean to.
Oh
Yada run.
Too fast for this shit.
Literally, yeah.
I don't like
Connie.
being at 1
4, 5, 6,
unless if
7,
I've got
that
Pebble.
I would have done Cosmo, because Cosmo has slower extraction than Yada. Yada has a 4 or 5-star extraction? I think it's 4-star. 4-star extraction, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're at 2.
I don't care.
Me 1.
I don't want to be at 2. Or I don't want to be at 1. I am going to grab that box of chocolates, though.
Yada, I need you to move back a little.
Fuck.
Sid, I mean not Sid. Mateo, I need you to read my message.
What message? On what?
What I sent, I said, Cosmo, can you heal Bowie since they're so that they can be at 2?
Oh, so they're at, how did I...
Isn't Gigi the host of this run?
I think so. I don't know.
Gigi's the host of this run.
I think so. I'm gonna be my highest floor. They're so happy about it. Why are they trying? Why were they wanting 4-100?
I don't know.
They meant
What?
floor 10, but added an extra 0.
That's funny.
We got Brescia, we got
Get your Wes
Nico.
over here. Cosmo.
My machine.
You want this one?
No, I got one.
Okay.
there was one you passed by, so I just took it instead.
Okay, where the fuck did Brusha go?
Do that. I don't know.
Brusha just disappeared.
They kind of
She just
vanished.
kind of vanished. Oh, hey, Brusha. Hey, bitch.
Bruh.
Hey, bitch.
I'm
Good
gonna be
job.
honest, I don't mind Speed Shelly because she's so good with extraction.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, what's up?
Did you just see me zooming?
Yeah.
Meow.
Finn's probably even faster.
Oh, hey, a box of chocolate.
I have 2.
Can I have it?
Yeah, there's also a bottle of pop somewhere here.
Okay, well, I took the bottle. I took the bottle.
Yeah, it's on this. It's down this hallway right here.
Yeah, no, Sid, get to the elevator. I'm almost done with this machine.
Okay, I'm ready to do my job.
All right, time to lose them and run to the elevator.
Get your butt in the alley.
We.
Oh.
Oh,
I pulled in the wrong
you
person.
pulled in the wrong person, bro. I was gonna run and I was gonna run the other way.
I liked it for a split second, and then I clicked it as soon as I saw it.
I just beat my high floor, bro.
Oh my god, I'm so proud of you.
Oh my
You were in the way.
gosh. You were literally in the way.
I'm just gonna put tragic.
Tragic.
Tragic. Hey, you could use the I meant magic. I think it's Sprout.
The T-button's the
Yeah, it's Sprout.
The T-button's not even.
Oh, I've been spotted by Sprout.
Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out.
Take him.
Got him. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
I mean, the
13,
T&M are
14,
close
15,
enough. At least in
Fuck, 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 fuck. I lost Sprout. I lost Sprout. I lost Sprout.
Yeah, Sprout went back.
I also I don't have Tisha either. Bring them to Broken.
Yeah, I'm on a machine. I don't even know what's happening anymore. Genuinely.
Get your ass over here.
It was Sprout.
Huh?
I was talking to Lily.
Oh.
I don't even know where you are.
I don't have Tisha still. Tisha, get your ass over here.
Dude, I love how Glisten is bothering Cosmo when there's a machine.
Literally.
There's 2 machines in Broken Ellie, by the way.
I'm gonna
I know.
You know the Glisten's gonna go that way and get him fixed up, right?
I mean, I'm in Broken Ellie, but like, I trusted enough to not get.
Oh!
I almost died.
Sorry.
That's it.
Dude, I almost fucking got hit. Did you see that?
I reached the womp, the whip, the black whip, and didn't get killed. It tried to whip, and I said nay nay.
Just the hell alone.
I'm wearing AirPods.
Like, I care about your.
69. Oh.
I care.
Sorry. Sorry.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry.
Sorry. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
First of all, you are not online. Oh wait, never mind. I thought the red had already shown up.
Okay, I'm going.
Never mind.
I'm not giving them Sprout research.
They don't deserve it.
Heck nah.
Look how it was stuck with this much for me.
Literally.
Oh,
Are
that's
you on
funny.
two? Yeah, you're on two. Okay, that's good.
Need to get through. I'ma rip your wig. What? What? I'ma rip your wig. Floor leak.
Oh, yep. I heard it.
What is
Oh, I love this floor.
Dude, this is apparently what the new Walmart is gonna start looking like.
Why are you blue?
Uh.
Who the fuck is getting hurt
I'm
already?
fine. I wanted an open space anyways.
I need to find Louis. There are like 2 bottles of pop on this thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, I wanted the box.
I think I got them. There's like 2 over here. There's one over here where I am, and then there's one that's like
Shelly, I need a boost.
facing where I'm facing. It's on the left.
Yeah, I'm ill.
Do I have Tisha? Yes, I have Tisha. Do I have Cosmo? Yes, I have Cosmo.
Oh, I'm
I've got
ill.
Brusha. I think I have everybody.
This is gonna be so bad, because mine is too.
Cause Pringles
Why
can
am I so
never die.
slow? I'm
There's
so
one to the left of
slow.
me, by the way. There's a machine to the left of me.
How
It's
do I
kind of
get rid
behind the
illness?
wall.
Yeah, I get you, I'll get it.
Wait, how do I get rid of illness?
You just
goes away
wait.
automatically.
It,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so what illness does is it, like,
Does it decrease all of your stats?
yeah, kind of. But,
It just decreases your skill check.
yeah, but whenever you're in the puddle, it does, what the fuck are you doing? Listen, get the actual fuck away from me, bro.
What do you mean? It felt like it turned my trinkets off. It felt like I was really slow.
Yeah, you were really slow whenever you're in the puddle, but then after, like, the puddle, then, you're kinda, you know.
First time in Astromap Wild, my phone's on 20%. Why are you playing on? Plug it in.
A lot of
Otherwise,
people,
my phone's also at 16.
damn, mine's at, like,
Yeah, well,
87.
My phone battery is.
1.
Yours is always almost dead. I don't want to hear that. I didn't even realize
Mine's
that was
at
on that.
12.
Hey, what's up?
So okay. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? I'm following you.
Yeah, that's okay. GG, run.
Help.
Use-
I
use the-
don't like Cosmo being in my face. Help.
Supposed to.
I just walked.
I know you did. Practice, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, there's,
No, I want frugal.
no, I want Frutal too. I want Frutal?
You're a friddle?
Frutal? I want Toaster Frutal? Toaster Strudel? Those sound so good right now.
I'm gonna be honest. I never found the idea of the
Floor Lake?
those that have frosting on them.
Let's find out.
Louis,
Yeah.
Yada,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Gigi.
GG.
Can you get Gigi?
Want me to distract you?
Yes.
I'll try. This is
Poppy,
normal.
I need to find Poppy.
I don't have her thing timed. Oh my god.
Hers is 12. Hers is 12.
Why are you doing it in the smallest corner possible, May?
Just count 12. Just count to 12.
I don't count.
They don't know.
Okay,
how to
1,
count.
I
2,
do know how to count.
3,
Don't
4,
lie to yourself.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
12.
11, 12. 1,
Oh my god.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
I'm fighting for my
8,
life.
9, 10,
Listen,
11,
Oh
12.
shit. Cosmo.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
huh? Saw me.
11, 12.
Ow.
1, 2, 3,
GG.
4, 5, 6,
I
7,
don't have any
8,
stamina.
9,
GG's on the loose.
10,
So.
11. Why is she just standing there? No, look at her. Look at her. She's literally just standing there until Cosmo ruined it. 5,
Oh, shit. They're
6,
trying to take GG.
7,
Well, I took everyone else,
8,
so,
9, 10. Fuck! She took my fucking box. Pop. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Why can't I feel
9,
like no?
10. It's fucking 10?
Yeah,
Oh my god, I'm an idiot.
Dude, you told me like yesterday that I was 10. I don't know where you got 12 from. 12 was scraps, remember?
Oh, I forgot. She just took another fucking box of chocolates.
Oh shit.
You need to get the other. No. Gigi's still out there. Gigi's still out there.
He has medical items, so fine.
One stamina. We're all low on stamina.
We are. Dandy's pissed off.
Yeah, give me that. I needed the stamina. You sold a pop, so.
She took my items. Cause I thought it was 12, bro. Okay, Sprouts is 12. That's what I was thinking of. Okay, Sprouts and
Scraps.
Scraps is 12. Goob
Hey,
and
hey,
Gigi is 10.
You have the dog plush. What's the other item you have?
Speedy shoes?
The train whistle.
Oh, train
Stops
whistle.
you from being slowed by Finn and
Yeah.
What is, how do you get that one?
Dial.
Hi.
Literally gotta get a
Yoink.
Scraps, I think. I saw.
What? No, it's Toodles.
Maybe it was your tail. Or was it Louis' tail? I think I saw Twisted Louis' tail and thought it was.
There's Yada.
Doodles is here.
Fuck. I lost Toodles because she got me.
Gigi, what the fuck are you doing?
I need to get Cosmo.
I'm
Oh my god, Yada just took everybody. Almost everybody.
genuinely, what the fuck? I would have been fine had these people not gone in the way.
Yada! 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 What the
Yada
fuck?
died.
Yada!
Okay, I got him. Where are you?
I'm right here. But hold up, I got Toodles on me. I'm going to the outside. Got him.
There.
Cosmo, please. Cosmo, please. Please. No. Please. Please. I want... Thank you. Please. Pretty please. Cosmo denied me!
We're gonna. Look, thank you. Just so I can get to this one over here.
Please.
Did they not heal you?
No. Oh, shit. Sorry.
I genuinely am starting to think people don't listen.
Literally, the last time me and Sid played, we had like semi-decent listeners.
Literally. And one of the games that I played, there was literally a Sprout that was like amazing. Because he asked, hey, what do you want to be at?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was on the last mission.
It's okay. I'm losing them at Broken. Glisten, get the fuck away. Bro.
Yep,
Let
that's
Glisten
okay.
get hit, honestly.
Bro.
Glisten get hit.
Oh my god, he's going to kill everybody.
Oh my god. Listen, that's your fault for getting out of the elevator, stupid. I can't pull people in anymore because you literally decided to get Cosmo. And I have to save Cosmo because of you.
Guys, I think we need first aid.
I think we should all go for first aid.
No, I want medical attention, actually.
And still lost by one vote.
Stand still.
Oh, I got this.
Okay.
It's my job. Where's V?
She's in the back.
Oh,
I'm getting everyone else though.
Oh shoot, Blue's right there. Oh my god. Bluey, no. I'm gonna break my ankles for this. Oh god. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, got her.
You got Shrimpo too.
Oh. Hi Shrimpo. Welcome to the team, I guess.
Be careful of Yada. I'm gonna...
I gotta find a spot to distract that.
And I gotta find a spot to try to get Shrimpo back.
Hey, I can keep Shrimpo if you
Oh,
want.
shit. Okay, I got Shrimpo. Oh my god! His hand was there.
Dude,
I love it.
dude,
I'm sorry.
I'll just take everyone. It's okay.
You sure? Are you sure?
Yeah, it's okay.
Aaron, what the fuck are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
You're like... I can hear like so many sounds coming from you.
Literally, yeah.
I'm
I'm gonna do one machine. There are literally so many sounds coming from you. I think Blot's trying to cock block me.
Shit. Well, Shrimpo's on the loose.
How did you... What?
Because Shrimpo latched on
Okay,
to
you get this. I'm getting Shrimpo.
Okay.
Why can we hear Sid double now?
Because of you! Probably.
What?
Yeah. Or it's me. Maybe it is Aaron.
Probably. Did you get my machine? Did you get the machine I was on? No, you did not. Go do the machine that I was on. Bro, where are you going?
Who?
You!
I don't know what machine you were on.
It's the one back there! Where Blot was. No, not over there. Bro, no. Where Blot's hand was. Where you got hit. It's back there.
Oh.
It's almost done, so...
I thought someone was on that one.
I was, and then Shrimpo got loose.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to lose them at the same place or something?
Oh, I'm just gonna lose them wherever, mate.
Okay, I'm losing mine right now.
Ellie, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm running to the elevator. Blot's on that way, so go this way.
I was behind you, mate. It's okay. We're so pro. We're so pro.
We're at floor 20. Hey, there's a valve.
Bruh. I've never seen that one. That's freaking wild. Dude, oh, that's hilarious.
He was trying to summon Dial. Clearly.
Oh, okay.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I gotta find. I've got Shrimpo. I see Raz and Dez. I need a. Who just saw me? Oh, it's Gigi! I don't have anything.
It's GG, I don't have anything, and then there monitors me with a med kit. Half a box of chocolate, basically, and
I thought Yada was Goob. Oh my god, that terrified me. I have Gigi, Yada, Tisha, and Shrimpo. And then Raz and Daz are somewhere, and I think there's one more.
probably somewhere roaming around. Yeah.
If you find one, try to take them to Broken.
Oh, I found someone, but I don't know where Broken is. I lost him
Oh yeah,
immediately.
Aaron's never. Yeah, no.
Oh
Aaron's
yeah,
never
I
done this.
forgot.
Oh, hi, Cosmo.
Oh shoot, you're right there.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go this way. Sorry.
it's okay.
It's hard to see in the dark. Oh, Resin Dash is here.
Yeah, I know.
Aaron, turn around, turn around. Got him.
You got him? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm bringing him to elevate. Don't
Oh my
worry.
god, it's 9/11.
There's also a
Shut up. Okay, where are you? Oh, there.
there's also a machine kind of close to here. So like back there.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay,
I'll use my valve on it for you.
let's go.
I'm just acting like
I'm
I'm
good at. See, I'm good at the game. I'm good at the game. I promise. My bad. I'm on the last one.
Okay.
Aaron, can you say get GTE for me, please? Thank you. Thank you, Pokey.
Thank you, Pokey. Thank you, Ko-Fi Bot.
Say GTE. I'm halfway done with the machine.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Wow, that's a really long GTE there. No, wrong thing, you idiot.
GTE, not GTG. Bro, I think Bruce Litzing is mine.
Oh my god, fucking idiot.
I almost ran in Resin Daz's area, by the way, but I didn't, so. Oh my
Slay.
god, it's brighter than a goddamn freaking Jesus.
How the fuck did that not work?
How did that not work?
How did that not work? What the hell?
Corner.
What the hell?
How did that not work? I wanna
What?
see what
What the fuck? What the fuck?
I'm gonna watch the stream to watch it back. Hold on. What the hell? Because for me it's a little delayed, so.
Yeah, it is kind of delayed.
Yeah,
But
so
what the fuck is that?
What happened?
Or
You were in
like-
my view, perfectly clear. I tried grabbing you, and then
It looks like you just kind of fucking missed. Sprout.
It's funny because I literally grab you, but it didn't work.
I got Sprout.
That's so.
I need to find Cosmo. I have to get Poppy real quick.
By the way,
Oh, I need to drop a heart. 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 I need a heart.
Why? Probably here.
Yes.
oh god.
Okay, I gotta get out. No. Watch out, watch out, watch out!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um,
I'm so sorry.
so this one might be dead.
No, it's okay. This one is fine. I wish we had a certain tune here. Ow.
You know, Sprout just jumped the cord. Sprout just jumped the table.
Bro, jumped the table.
Yes.
Dang. Decide, should I go back to being Shark Pebble? Who died?
I think Gigi died.
Don't die yet. Let me get a couple of these machines done.
Bro.
That was my bad. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to get you killed.
I'm gonna decline that request from Treason.
I also declined it. I saw it and immediately pressed decline.
See, I can't see that.
Maybe we could play again.
No.
You just want us to carry you.
Like, see, the thing with me, I won't be able to see it till I leave the game. Huh?
I think Cosmo just led Pebble right to Aaron.
Yeah, Cosmo fully just tried to kill us.
I did die.
Oh, wait, is Yada able to distract? Is Yada distracting?
Distractor Yada?
Distractor Yada!
Gang, do you think I can get to the next floor? I don't.
I don't think so. With how much stamina Yada's using right now, it's concerning, but at the same time, Yada is using, like, boxes of chocolates. Yada is fucking dying.
See, this one I'm not getting involved.
That's terrifying. Yada's almost dead, by the way.
What the fuck is Sprout doing?
Tweaking out.
Yeah, he's tweaking out. It's his new model.
Oh my god.
All you hear is just the just the scream of horror cut off. That's all you hear. That's literally all you hear. You just hear That's all you hear.
Dude, what the fuck?
Bro got jump scare.
Literally.
Okay.
Cosmo's almost dead. Cosmo's dead. What the fuck is Glisten doing? Glisten's just dead. Everybody's dead. Everybody's just fucking dead. Like, everybody's dead. Yada, you're the only one left, bro. Yada, you're dead.
Everyone died. Going back to the lobby.
Yeah.
These different stickers.
You gotta buy them from the dial shop.
Yeah, they're like 600, I think, a piece. Or is it
I think it's 250.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
that's not that much. It's genuinely not that much.
Unless you want the golden brick, then that's 10k.
That's 10k.
I paid 10k for it and didn't
ABC
even realize
Sun
it.
and Moon show. One of my friends is obsessed with that.
I thought that was you that was.
No, I'm just obsessed with Sun and Moon.
Fair enough, me too.
Yeah.
As I say, as my profile
the
picture on Discord
boys.
is freaking 2D from Gorillas.
You got.
I
They got added to Fortnite.
who?
I love it, but I also
Gorillas.
hate it. Because now kids nowadays are gonna be like, oh my god, it's
Oh my
Gorillas
gosh, I'm a
from
Gorillas
Fortnite."
fan.
Oh my god, guys, it's gorillas from Fortnite. Oh my god.
I'm gonna be so mad if little kids do that, because I'm gonna be so pissed. I'm gonna be like, no, nuh-uh, nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
Shut your little people. Nuh-uh.
Shut your little people.
Is that Hatsune Miku from Fortnite?
Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, oh yeah, they did add Miku to Fortnite.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I've refused to play Fortnite since it's come out. I've refused.
I used to play a little bit. I used to play.
Play the music festival. I don't want to talk about it. I like the music, alright?
I was there whenever Twisted, or not Twisted, Tilted Towers was like the place that was like super dangerous.
Yeah, it was always packed with people.
Yeah.
Guys, you like my sticker?
Never mind, gang. I gotta be right back. I gotta mop and pick up puppy pads real quick.
Oh.
Do you want us to do a run without you?
I'll be like 10 minutes, so if you want to, sure. I might be
Let's go!
Yeah, you guys can do a run without me. I'll be back. I'm gonna go on Deafen.
Okay.
What a nerd.
What a nerd! What do you mean? Wanna be old, yeah. To be the afterlife of the party. When the after party came, I was rolling in my own grave and I'd rather be normal. Can we go? Let's just go.
Yeah. Wow, it's a beautiful
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Will someone join us?
No.
No? Oh well.
No, 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 no! Out of all the people! Why her? Why? Out of all the people! Out of all the people! Oh yeah, I definitely have an ear infection.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's like I don't feel sick. It's just my ear hurts, and my voice is going fucking wild. Like, write me on the run.
Oh, there's 2 pebbles. Meep, meep.
Meep, meep.
I wish I could get rid of player names so I could actually see what people are typing.
There's a setting for that, I'm pretty sure. I wish I could be a girl, then that way you'd wish you'd be a girlfriend, boyfriend. Am I pretty enough to lie to? No, oh.
Damn, Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia, here we go again.
Not the Mamma Mia I was talking about. I think everyone's on the machine.
Yeah.
Except for... How can you already be AFK? How can you join around floor 1?
Oh, wait, who's AFK?
Goob.
They didn't say shit. They ain't AFK.
Standing at the elevator. Like, they got pushed out of the elevator.
I'm dropping a heart.
Why
That
do you-
took a
why do
long
I feel
time.
slow?
What?
I feel slow.
Probably because... Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to murder you. I'm going to actually murder you. I'm
don't
going to
worry.
murder you. I'm going to murder you. You fucking...
Don't worry, I'm gonna lose them so you can have them back.
Got him.
I don't know why the other Pebble did that.
Get the fuck away from me. I will get you hit.
Yeah, no, this Goob is gonna die.
Yep. Did you fucking die? Oh, no. You were just in the way.
I was in the corner! Wait, what'd you say?
Stay away when I'm distracting. Because Pebble was being a fucking dumbass. You almost led them to Brightney, bro! Shit, I need to get this, I need to get this. Thank you. There's Razzle and Dazzle.
And Connie. Free floor.
Okay. Moment Geo steps into the circle, by the way, I'm running.
You think Geoda's gonna try to kill you?
Maybe. Shut the fuck up. Why are you wanting to distract so bad? You literally almost got somebody killed.
Yeah, I don't understand people. Hi. You want it?
No. Did you just miss a skill check?
Why you wanted to be
Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot.
I'm gonna smack
Are
your
you
face.
watching a movie?
Who?
You!
No?
What do you have in the background?
Music.
Turn it off! I can hear it on stream!
You
Yes!
I didn't know.
Bro.
How is it? Why are you only now telling me?
Because I just realized that you're listening to music while I can hear it.
I didn't realize you could hear it. I'm sorry.
Bro.
No, we clearly need etiquette. We don't need to go gambling.
It's the best one. I got a stamina candy. Let's go.
Not much.
It's Razzle and Dazzle again.
And Cosmo. Someone saw me.
Oopsies.
Someone took my Band-Aid. If it was you, I don't care.
That wasn't
It was me.
yours. That was
Well,
mine.
I just added. I was trying to clear my inventory.
Hehe.
Don't tee-hee me.
Hee.
I'm gonna send you to the Shadow Realm.
I'm gonna run an R&D circle while you're in the middle so he can, like, tie you up.
There are other people
kill
in
you.
there.
Who's in there?
Cosmo and Astro.
Damn it. They've actually been pretty good so far for 3 floors.
What did I do?
Well, if the other Pebble was in there. This Pebble needs to get the fuck out of the way. Or else I'm gonna get a fucking excavator. Or wait, no. An ice pick. And I'm gonna fucking crack him in half like a fucking geode. Like the geode he is. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Big bro. What do you mean gay? He's literally grieving. Bro, get the fuck to the elevator.
Wait, for real?
He barked, and I'm pretty sure he's leading them to Cosmo and the elevator.
Why are you on 1?
We're gonna ignore that. You look right there.
Why are you both on 1?
Well, Pebble did that to himself. Pebble did that to himself. Pebble also did that to Cosmo, it looks like, too, because Cosmo's down a heart, too.
At least you have a band-aid, right?
Yep. Which I'm saving. Until I get another band-aid. Hi, Astro. Did you lose yourself? Oh, my chat's still dead. Sigh.
Oh, what? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh,
them.
take him back. Bring him back.
I'm coming back.
Bring him back.
I'm back. I'm coming back.
Round and round and round we go, and round and round and round we go, and round and round and round we go, and round and around we go.
Motherfucker. What is that Pebble's issue?
Just trying to get the Twisteds for no fucking reason, and he's trying to lead them away.
Ash was on the list.
Okay. I'm losing them now. Go.
This is why I don't like other Pebbles being in the runs. :3.
Me and Cosmo definitely need it, so yeah. And Cosmo's the healer, I'm the destructor. So yeah, I'll definitely need it. Thank you. Imagine if this was a death run.
Oh, if this is a death run, I could have killed you.
I'd go AFK soon for dinner. I'm fucking killing his ass. It's a double event! Oh my gosh. It's both floor leak and blackout. Ooh, hey Connie.
So leaks aren't guaranteed.
What do you mean?
Once the leaks start showing up, do they show up every floor or
No.
is it just...
It's like blackout.
I don't
Yeah.
like that.
And they can apparently show up with a blackout too now. There's a machine in here, by the way, where I'm distracting.
They did on the last round too.
Yeah. Pebble, I swear to fucking God, if you bark, I swear to fucking God, I will get you fucking killed. I will actually kill you. I will take a bulldozer and I will flatten your fucking head.
Oh, I thought they were shrinking to be non-existent. No, they just move around. Oh, hi, Connie.
Cosmo. Oh.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you.
Okay, no, this machine is impossible with how little skill check I have.
Oh my gosh. What? How do you think Cosmo feels?
Dude.
How do you think Cosmo feels?
Okay,
Are
never
y'all
mind,
taking
mine's fine. It was
turns?
just because of the illness.
Are y'all fucking taking turns? Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Y'all are fucking taking Here, can I have my turn? Can the Twisted also have a can the Twisted also have her turn?
I got Brittany, it's your turn.
Okay. Shit! Damn it! Bridie's cutting in line.
Why do you
Take her. Can I have it? Damn. Bro didn't want to share? Bro didn't want to share with me?
I'm sorry. Aw, y'all didn't want Dandy to show up. Fucking nerd.
Damn, I didn't get a turn. Shake my head. Bro was lining up. Y'all were both lining up.
I can't believe you get to be Purple Obsidian the Rock Boy, but I can't be Red Helios. I hate this.
I think it's dependent on the first letter and like whatnot. Poppy and yada.
I think it's just based off of when you create.
Come here.
I've had this color since I first made this account.
Yeah, it's dependent on like what your name starts with and whatnot.
And I'm too lazy to make a new one.
Yeah.
Shelly, can you boost me? No.
Ooh.
Shelly didn't want to boost me.
AFK, do the last one. Do the last one.
Oh, we're absolutely doing the last one.
Do the last one. And just be
I
like,
think Shelly
oopsies!
disconnected.
I think she might have also disconnected. I think it's just Cosmo, you, and I after we kill Pebble.
Do you want to go kill him? He's at elevator.
Let's let Elevator kill him.
I don't think we're gonna be able to do machines quick enough to kill him.
They have to eat dinner.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll let Elevator kill him. Round and round and round and round and round we go.
That's a new way I can hit those notes. That's
Dude,
weird.
I remember we were on the Rock SMP, right?
And you fucking scared the shit out of me.
And you were singing the Ballad of the Chango, and I sneak up behind you in the middle of the year.
Oh, hi, Sid.
I turn my mic on and go, oh, hi, Sid.
Ooh, what if I scare Cosmo? Ooh. Bro immediately failed the skill check. So 4 and 5 are right here.
I don't think
In the
this round
broken.
is gonna last anyways, because we ended as soon as Mateo gets back anyways.
Yeah. Last one is an Ellie. Or broken. It's over here, on this side.
Okay.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, filling up my
The devil's
body. Got
after
one way to
both
pick
of
me up.
us.
I never wanted to sleep. Oh, I won't forget. Moment to glory, say dead. Why did everybody else fucking leave this floor?
I don't.
Like, they
No.
literally left this floor.
I'm gonna be honest. This round sucked.
Yeah. You just gotta wait for Cosmo to, like, finish that machine, though. Fuck.
Cosmo might finish it. If they get off of it, I'll finish it.
I'm really hoping that Cosmo's just a PlayStation player and
Oh my god, they're
can't
gonna finish it.
read. Hell yeah. Let's fucking go. Cosmo shares a hatred for Pebble just like we do.
Let's fucking go. Damn it.
Damn
He's
it.
in the
God
elevator.
damn it. Motherfucker.
Fuck.
Motherfucker. I'm gonna fuck you. I will kill you. I will kill you. I will kill you. Oopsie. You better go on my fucking side. Oh my fucking god, I can't believe you.
Me?
Thank god I came down. If he goes AFK again, I will lead them to him. I'm gonna kill his ass. I am gonna kill him. I will kill him. That is my one goal.
Oh, we got Toodles.
That is why this is my one and only goal. Cosmo, get the fuck away. Please. Genuinely.
Oh, who sees me? Oh, hi, Trundle.
Next floor, don't do last machine! We ain't waiting for you. We ain't waiting for you. And I mean it!
You're not our boss.
AFK.
Just to lose them on accident in front of them.
He's running. He's running.
Toodles.
He's running.
Oh.
Did you
I
get
lagged.
hit? Oh my god.
Yeah, I lagged.
Fucking idiot.
Hey, that's mean. Let me be Obsidian the laggy boy today.
You can't go AFK now. Didn't you want to distract? Come on.
These are the consequences of his actions. Oh, we're being such dicks.
I need to ban someone from my chat.
Oh, if you give me mod, I can do that while Mateo isn't here.
Oh, they're already restricted.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Pebble, you don't get to go AFK. Mm-mm-mm.
His mom is calling him like,
Stop.
"Hurry up."
No. You're briefing me? You were trying to grief Brightney.
Damn, you're underwearing him.
Damn, you underwearing him.
Oh, I got killed by Shrimpo.
Oh. Oh?
This run was dead, I don't care. Oh, the pebble's dead.
just returning the favor. I was not trying to. You were. You literally were. You got caught in 4K. You literally got caught in 4K. Me and Cosmo are now best friends. Me and Cosmo are best. What the fuck?
What?
What the fuck did you just send? What the hell? Anyway, mean person. Bye! Bye, bitch. You literally tried griefing people, bro. Like, what did you expect to happen? You literally tried griefing people earlier, and then you're like, you're griefing me. Oh, why didn't, like, you know, why didn't you like it when you got griefed? You know, I'm just returning the favor, you know.
Wah.
It literally went, you went quack, quack, whenever it went off. Quack, quack. Quack, quack. Quack, 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 quack.
What if I told you that was my plan?
Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack,
Mateo
quack.
didn't stay on the stream while they ate. Just
I think I'm gonna cook spaghetti tomorrow. Either that or like Alfredo, but instead of using chicken, because I don't really want to. I don't think I have chicken actually.
Dude,
Use
honestly,
sausage.
no,
Sausage
I might
Alfredo?
go.
Or ground beef Alfredo? Beef Alfredo? Isn't that just like a stroganoff or something?
yeah.
I'm gonna have beef Alfredo tomorrow. It's probably going to go into the photo album of cursed foods, but YOLO!
Sending that shit to water immediately.
Beef Alfredo.
God.
Hell yeah. I'm American, motherfucker.
God, I keep watching these videos.
I
of
like
these
sex,
being like,
I like
"Yo,
drugs,
let's
and I
spam
like
on stuff."
guns.
Like, who in their right mind would put spam and anchovy on toast? That's so gross.
I'm gonna be honest, like one of the Australian things that I really like, I'm not gonna lie, I like marmalade. I'll admit it. I like marmalade.
I don't like the texture of marmalade, but
It's like Nutella, but bitter?
yeah.
Yeah, it's bitter.
It's not chocolatey sweet, but it's still sweet. Too sweet for me, but it's still sweet. Honey pie, sugar
Something's
pie.
fishy.
You know that I love you.
Something's fishy.
Fishy.
You're fishy. You're mine.
You're
Come on, Cosmo.
Dude, I love how you say me, Shelly, and Goob are all on a Discord call. I'm like, oh, and yet nobody believes me. They're like, no, the distractor must be telling the truth. I can't even
Cosmo,
lie
do
to
the
you.
dancey dance with me. Cosmo, do the dancey dance with me. Cosmo. Cosmo, do the dancey dance with me. You're not dancing with me? Why aren't you dancing with me?
Wait. Since Mateo's not here right now, what should I change his nickname to?
I have no clue. Oh, hey, Blot. It's Astro. Astro! Here. It's just you and me. Yep. Just the two of us. In this castle in the sky, crimes of passion are just fine when enacted by AI. Just the two of us in this castle in the sky. Crimes of passion. I like how this Cosmo like watched me like enact revenge,
And didn't give a shit.
and they literally don't give a shit. They're just doing machines. They're being good. Good Cosmo.
Cosmo was just here for the vibes.
Cosmo's here for the vibes. While Louis went on a murder. I murdered. Cosmo is literally failing so many skill checks, though. I'm concerned. Please don't ever do Dial's floor. What? No! What? Just cock blocked him! What? What?
I'm gonna text. I'm curious. What shit
I don't think they're eating.
They said they.
Well,
oh no, they went.
They
to
were,
clean up.
yeah, they were cleaning. Bye, Blot. I got bitch slapped by Blot. Yeehaw.
Yar.
What do you mean, yar? Yar.
Yar hard fiddly dee.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yar har fiddly dee. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free.
I don't think we're in the same lobby.
I'm not out of this yet.
Oh.
Hold up. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. Yar har fiddly dee. Being a pirate is alright to be. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You are a pirate.
Wait,
We've
is Blot classified as a common tune? No, they're classified as.
Bro's rare.
Yeah,
Bro's rare.
yeah, bro's rare.
Damn.
He was cooked ultra rare. The meat is
Oh
not
shit,
just
Neftis? Wait, where? Where? Is this you? This is! Yo! This is a good player.
Wait, I don't see y'all.
I'm in the corner. It's Neftis! It's Neftis! It's
Look how
Neftis!
they're running away from
Maria!
Maria!
My neighbors probably just heard me say Maria really loudly.
Did you hear the Maria?
Yes. Ave Maria.
I need to rewatch the Book of Life.
That was so random.
That song did it!
Really?
Yes!
I
I'm not joking!
Ave Maria. I forgot
It's
the
at the train
lyrics.
station.
I don't know how to speak Italian. I think that song's in Italian. Is it? I think it's in.
No, it's in Spanish.
Really?
Yeah, but it's a Latin language, so they're gonna
Oh,
sound
yeah.
pretty much the same.
I thought it was in Italian. Oh, they're eating. Oh man. Oh
Wait.
man.
Why would you join if you're eating?
It's fun. Shut the fuck up.
I'm confused.
I'm gonna. Oh, they can play. Yo.
Oh. Yar har fiddly dee.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is fee. Is fee?
A pirate is feet.
Do what you want, because a pirate is fee.
5 from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, is that you? Oh my god, AFK is AFK.
AFK is AFK. Holy cow! Oh my gosh!
I have no idea if Nephthys is in the stream.
No. It's a main only run.
No. Oh god. Shrimpo.
Good luck. There's 3 Louis, a Shrimpo, a Sprout, and a Poppy, and a Gigi.
And a pebble.
And a Pebble.
This run is already fucked. From the start.
It was always
Wait,
doomed
from the
start.
from the start?
That one gay song.
Don't you notice how... Sunset? Oh my gosh, I just had, like, flashbacks from that. Bro!
From Sunset or from...
Sunset be thick. That is who I used to be. Can there not be 3 Louis?
Well, I'm gonna go cause chaos. Sorry, Sitsuki.
What?
I'm gonna go cause chaos.
Don't do that. I want to get this Shrimpo to at least a good floor. At least past floor 1.
Are you...
Get away from Shrimpo. Oi! Shrimpo's in that room! Shrimpo's in that room! Bro! 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 I'm losing heart. No. Give. Louis, I swear to God. Give. I already said I was distracting. Stay away! I already said.
The angry clicks. Also, I don't think Roblox moderation works correctly because I genuinely don't know why some of the words I text end up getting like hashtagged.
I don't know either.
Like I put a what's a disc and it
I'm designing? The fuck you mean? You're designing?
I'm designing your nuts.
Left man? What?
Dangerous. Ooh, that sounds good.
Get the fuck away! I swear! You're going to kill yourself!
Let him. Shrimpo, what are you doing? Buddy.
Damn it.
Shrimpo, I wouldn't recommend popping that yet.
What the fuck? Please die. Please
Shrimpo
die.
didn't know everyone was sitting at the elevator when they popped it.
For real? Literally, I literally said that I was distracting. They're AFK. I'm
Well,
going to
it's
kill
not
them.
our fault you were AFK. You didn't tell anybody you were AFK, you just went AFK.
If you want to fucking kill yourself, then fine. Do it.
Damn.
I don't fucking care anymore. I literally... This Louis is pissing me the fuck off. I'm pissed off. I'm genuinely pissed off.
I'm looking. I didn't see Louis have the Twisteds anymore. He does.
No.
I feel like causing chaos.
I'm pissed off. I'm waiting for Louis to die.
Fair. I hit a corner and accidentally got myself hit.
I'm waiting for Louis to die.
I was grabbing stuff.
You're fine.
I already said that I was literally gonna distract. And then this fuck-ass Louis decided that he wanted to distract. Pebble, watch out. Are you threatening?
Damn. I stole my brother's Nintendo 3DS.
Nice. I mean, he stole your controller a couple of times.
I also still couldn't find my games, but it's okay.
If you want to die, we can, and we can just get Mateo.
I'm
back.
getting this banned.
I mean, y'all can continue, it's fine. Oh my god, why is my phone lagging?
Love is driving me.
They didn't even see. There's three.
Oh,
There's
God,
3
it's
Louis.
so- Oh, I absolutely saw that shit.
Discord isn't responding. Well, you know what? Isn't responding to my actual goddamn phone, not the goddamn app.
Dude,
PMO.
do you want to like, is there a way to just let Nithis know?
I gotta refrain.
Come with us, and we can just die. Because I understand you want to get Shrimpa to a high floor, but those 2 Louis are.
No, one of them's fine. One of them's perfectly fine. The other one, though, can go fuck himself with his goddamn balloon fucking tail. And then shove a fucking thumbtack up his ass.
Bro, I'm gonna throw my phone out the goddamn window.
What
I'm gonna throw
happened?
this Louis out of the goddamn window.
my phone, it always acts
What's
so
happening
wrong.
in chat? Poppy, how are you vintage and you don't have any trinkets? What the fuck are...
How are you vintage? Why are you vintage? People fascinate me.
Why?
And I don't mean that in a good way.
Yeah, fair. Did I even download that image?
You okay, Sid?
No, I'm fucking pissed the fuck off. I'm taking this bop.
Oh.
Was that you?
Died. Yeah, I didn't see Louis there. I saw Sprout was getting chased, so I tried getting Tisha, but then Louis showed up out of nowhere, so my arc ended up getting his. So I stood as well, and I died.
What you eating? I love that one there. What you eating? Oh, you know, just life, I guess.
Honestly, I give up. I give up on trying to distract. Until Louis dies, I give up on distracting. I give up. I quit. I'm going on strike.
Violet crashed out though, so you know it's fine.
Wait, so what happened with you having to clean puppy pads? It's
Well, I
Do
have
it.
them off and so my mom can make dinner first, so
Nah,
it's either that or I wait longer. I'm like,
Ah.
that's fair. What'd you eat?
I didn't eat. She's making the food right now.
Let him fucking die. God damn it. God damn you. God fucking damn you. God fucking damn you. Fuck you. I'm not going with what you're voting. Shrimple, you didn't say you were AFK.
Why is it always doomed Yowie? What the
Oh
fuck,
my
Twitter?
god. Shrimpo didn't say... Shrimpo didn't say he was AFK. Shrimpo literally did not say he was AFK. Shrimpo literally did not say he was AFK. Shrimpo did not say he was AFK. Shrimpo did not say...
Sid, did you die? Did the other Louis die?
Finally!
I think bro's tweaking out.
I think so too.
Finally! Finally! Finally. Finally. Can someone please do that last machine? Like one of those machines? Please. Can someone please do that fucking machine, bro? Please? Do the fucking machines.
Why do I have 6 people trying to add me on Roblox?
That was the people we were with that were kind of.
No, some of these are from
Honestly-
different games.
Honestly, those people from the other game, yeah, they were jackasses just standing in the front of the elevator. At least.
Sim, do we know a kid named Dino Kid?
I don't know.
Because apparently they're trying to add me on Dandy's.
I got no clue. Probably?
Okay. I just didn't accept it. I just
Why
got
is this
on it,
Louis
it's
just
alright.
staring at me? Why are you just staring at me? Go to the Guys, I have to- Are you fucking kidding me?
What happened?
Bro has to go to sleep. Well, let me die, Louis. Oh my god, everybody's fucking at the fucking elevator.
Okay, so that run is just trash.
I'm still alive. It's not trashed.
Not in that way. I'm meaning
The people.
you and Neftist are the only people actually doing work.
Did he do all the machines?
He did 3 of those missions.
So in other words, yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh. Okay. Cool, I guess. Floor 6.
I mean, it's only Astro. You cannot walk him.
Literally. I can't distract in here. Like, normally.
What do you mean you have the
Ichor leak.
circling?
Shrimpo. Shrimpo.
Shrimpo, what
Shrimpo.
the fuck are you doing? Shrimpo, are you
Yeah,
trying to
hit
die
your
from
head
another
with that
gun?
machine. Get that machine. Do that machine. Thank you. Do that machine. Your machines. Keep
No, put
doing
it down.
your machine. Hell yeah.
Gigi, what are you doing on the stage?
Shrimpo has his thinking cap.
What I did with my
Please bring Astro. Dude.
my thing with Nintendo games. I had a whole bunch and I gotta find like where the thing I had like.
Not not Gigi picking up a band-aid.
Say it in chat. I saw that, Gigi.
Gigi can pull band-aids off her head. Why does she need to freaking
Literally.
grab them?
A twisted mane!
Oh my god, crazy.
Whoa! Pull the lever, Kronk! I need the last capsule. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Nephthys, just finish it. Don't even bring Astra over. Just
Well, I kind of have to.
oh. Why don't-
Where are
oh,
you
Nephthys
going?
just wanted-
Oh, tapes. I never know what it's like. Yay, I get my suppression! Yippee!
I'm gonna suppress you in a box.
Oh. I'm getting suppressed? Damn.
Yup. Sorry. I can't believe Frambo and Little Misfortune are playing like sequel games already.
Yeah.
And then
Hell yeah.
Little Nightmares 2 has been in Little Nightmares 3 has been in the works
What's
for a while.
up, Tisha?
Sally Face 2 is still being worked on. Silk Song is coming out in like a week.
Are there any more Twisteds? Besides R&D?
Is this just the year of the indie games?
Aaron?
What's up?
Are there any more Twisteds besides R&D?
You have Tisha on you. No, you're on floor 7. You should be fine until the next floor.
Okay.
Poppy isn't doing machine. No, Poppy just hopped back on one. I think Niftus is AFK. No, he moved. He's moving.
That sounded like a dirt block.
I love how I'm your security manager.
You're playing Five Nights at Freddy's.
God.
Five Nights at Dandy's? No, that would be hard to do, though. So,
What?
eat that jawbreaker. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Eat that jawbreaker, bro.
Twitter, stop showing me Doomed Yowie.
Crazy.
Why are you liking and...
Don't question me.
Why are you liking Doomed Yowie?
Listen. Sometimes.
I wonder if we'll get a snack break.
A snack break? What do you mean?
Sprouts.
Yeah.
They did?
Sprout said, I hope we'll get a snack break. Like the actual Sprout. That's one of Sprout's lines.
I was so confused. I was like, I don't see anything on the chat.
Yippee! Fuck! I took the wrong thing!
Good job.
Took the wrong thing! Damn it! I took a tape instead of the capsule.
Tragic.
It's Roger, though. It's Roger, though!
Sprout, there's no way.
And it's Connie.
So free floor.
Free floor. Free floor. Free floor. TikTok floor. Where I scroll TikTok. On live. Hmm.
I mean, you could just do machines.
I think everybody else is on a machine anyways.
No, not really. Like I said, no, not really.
All these machines are gonna get done at the same time, basically.
Well, now the other two machines are now fucking grabbed.
No. 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 Don't do that.
Dude, I can't wait for Delphine Chapter 5.
I'm distracting around Shrimpo. I'm distracting around the emo.
Oh my god, he's emo.
Oh my god, he's emo. Get in the elevator. Shrimpo, get in the elevator. Shrimpo, get in the elevator. Thank you. Shrimpo, get in the elevator. Thank you. No. No, don't vote for it, Shrimpo. You're going to die. Don't vote for that. You will die.
Am I getting texted?
You will die if you do that, bro. Oh, no more TikTok. Oh, damn it. Oh, hey, Brusha. Gotta find the others now. Only turn around every once in a red, red moon. Gotta find Flutter. Oh, shit. Shit. Poppy, turn around. Poppy, turn around. Poppy, turn around. Thank you. Got him. Oh, fuck. What is my mouse doing? What the hell? Thank you.
You good?
My mouse was freaking the fuck out. When I walk the equator, chasing the night, little do I know it all is close behind. I might remember or might assume, but I only turn around every once. And instead I walk the equator, chasing the night. Little do I know it all is close behind. I might remember or might assume, but I only turn around every once in a red, red moon. I said I only turn around every once in a red, red moon. Whoa, okay, mouse. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Oh my god! I don't know! What the fuck?
Did you die, Sid?
Yes!
Oh.
Why was it turning me around?
Who knows? I'm going back to the lobby. Hey gang. Okay, well, I want you to guess
God.
I want you to guess my phone battery.
69.
I don't like how you actually got that right.
Me?
What? It was at 2?
Yeah.
Damn it. Dude, charge your fucking phone.
It's charging. It's on the charger.
Bro had it at 1% before he plugged it in.
Bro. Man, nobody's hydrating me, and nobody's, like, making sure that I'm okay. Nobody's doing that.
Hydrate or dihydrate, motherfucker.
Okay, jeez, I was thinking of my points.
I do have to get some, like, lemonade real quick. Because I bought lemonade. Yay! I get to stretch and hydrate. Yippee! And hydrate twice. Hold on, let me grab my drink.
Not the poor hydrates.
Wouldn't it be funny if I just...
Nah, not another one. 5.
Mateo, you gotta
My
hydrate
knees
'em.
actually like
Well, saving
my
our
knees.
points,
Oh my
bro.
god! Oh my god! What the fuck did you guys do? Oh my
We coordinated.
god!
Hydrate.
Jesus! That's how many? How many?
Hydrate.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6.
Just added
That's
another
7 hydrates, bro.
We just added
Save
more.
hydrate.
Oh my gosh.
Here, I'll make it 10. I have 5,000 more points. If I wanted to keep hydrating you, I would. But I'm gonna stop because I don't think you can drink that much water.
9. That's 9.
Then you finish it.
No! Because I'm saving my points.
Are you saving it for Guide the Raid?
Maybe.
You don't have to do that, dude. You're literally like, 1, you're my mod, and 2, you're literally like in stream.
So, I'm saving my points.
You
Medium toil.
Forsaken fan? Oh no, they scare me.
Little toil.
Okay. Should we start a run?
I'm still hydrating. Damn.
You gave them like so many hydrates, May. Oh, it's Astro Day.
Let's go.
Like 30 minutes ago.
Hey Sid, you should do a Rebo stream tomorrow.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to stream tomorrow, dude.
Oh.
I've streamed like so much this week, and tomorrow's my off day, and I just want to go. I'm not gonna say that because that's not the good. That's not the right words. That, and then I just wanna chillax. I wanna chillax, dude.
I don't know who to be. Who should I be?
Huh. You should be a healer.
I should
Yeah.
be who?
A healer. You
healer.
should be Ginger.
We have Neftis though.
That's fair.
Yeah. Got balls, I still got an automobile for a
I can technically still
minimum
be back.
wage. Got real estate, I'm buying it all up in outer space.
Yeah, I can just back up.
Now that the truth is just a rule that you can bend. Tito.
Where'd Neftis go?
I don't
What
know.
machine should they do?
Send me your
this way,
love on
What trinket should I
every
use?
time
For me, I
ever
would use
you.
freaking vanity mirror, and then
Vanity mirror.
check. And then I'd use diary, so that way you don't get in people's way, or the instructor's way on accident. So that way they can just walk by.
Okay.
I think I like slightly choked on lemonade, by the way.
Dumbass.
Y'all made me choke.
Never did enough.
I didn't do a jack diddly squat. That was your fault.
This city
Why
haven't
would
This
hydrated
dude
in
made
a
me choke.
That's
This
your
dude made
fault.
me choke on lemonade.
Good. I'm gonna clip this and send it. I'm gonna send it to Water. Just this dude made me choke.
Shut the fuck up! Oh my gosh.
This is an old clip.
Cool. You said cool. Cool.
Oh wait, let me
we
change
should
out one of
join-
my. Let me change out one of my stickers real quick. Actually, I forgot.
Neftis, don't leave us.
We can't get into the main hunt. I'm a distractor.
No, that's everyone at elevator. Where's the get to elevator?
Oh wait, it's a main hunt. It's not a main run.
What?
Yeah,
You guys are going?
No?
I don't know. Are we?
I don't
No.
know, I was
They're
about to
already at
try.
8 people.
Yeah, it's already full.
Is that who? Is that who I think it is? No, it's not. I don't know that person.
I don't know, but they have the same trinkets as me.
Sid, you make the run name.
Oh god damn it!
I can't type, mate. So, that's my excuse.
Fuck, I said ABC and then, like, I forgot to press slash.
That's crazy, man.
Actually, I'm just gonna be Shelly. I can be Shelly.
There's 6. There's 8. No, there's 7.
6, 7.
There's 8. Let's go to the Sproutivator. Go. Go, 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 go. Are y'all in?
I am.
Yeah.
Oh god, there's a second Louis.
I know. That scares me. Trauma from last run. Trauma from last run. Trauma.
T-R-A-U-M-A.
They said, "Can I be backup,
because
though?"
you're gay.
They said, can I be backup though?
What?
Say
I
sure.
thought I was back up.
You can both
Whoa.
be back up.
Wait, who the fuck is Pinkie Pie?
We don't need 2 backups, mate. I
We
don't know,
can have
probably Louis.
2. We can have 2 backups.
We don't need 2 freaking backups, mate.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
And if just me and you are gonna keep the run alive while those two weird.
They can't hear us. They're not in
I
the
know.
stream.
I'm sending it mentally through their brain.
You're
waves.
sending it mentally through their brainwaves? Oh my
If
gosh.
someone wants to be back up, they can be. I don't give a flying fuck.
Med already?
Yeah.
Wait. Why are people joining runs if they're gonna go AFK immediately?
Because they're stupid. I need a... Dude, what the fuck? Twin, let me get hit. What the fuck? Why?
At least you're at 2, right?
But still, why did you get... What the
Don't
fuck?
question why they're dumbasses.
There's a sprout. There's a sprout right there. I was gonna say there's a tape right there, but then I was like, there's a sprout right there. There's a sprout. There was a sprout right there. Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Hi.
Your name is Lola. You were a showgirl. But that was 30 years ago.
When I used to have a show?
At the
When I was
disco.
at disco. But not for Sid.
Oh. Not for Sidla? Not for Sidla? Copacabana. Music and fashion was always a passion.
We're gonna get slaughtered. I
Pebble
can't floor
floor
1
too?
and then Bambi. Pebble floor
We
2?
can't even buy it.
This is sad. I feel like this is bad though.
Pebble floor 3.
No.
I'm calling it.
The fuck?
Why do they want to be distracted on even? Bro.
Because they have ribbon spool.
I don't care about your damn ribbons. You want it to be backup, be backup. That's what you're used for, you know? Oh, Finn's here.
Pinkie Pie, get the fuck out of my way! Okay, what's up?
Hi.
Hi.
Am I not gonna be able to do
Ooh,
any
I'm
of these?
scaring Rudy. Who else is here, anyways?
Are you okay, Sprout?
Oh, oh, oh.
I boxed
I'm
him.
getting him. Getting.
Here you go.
Got him. Got him.
See, I'm good at my job.
Get the fuck away.
Get the elevator, people!
Ah! Dude! Dude! What the fuck?
Right there. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Oh my god, you just doomed us.
Scare the living shit out of me.
You just doomed us.
You
Oh
why are
my.
you distracted right there?
Because I was trying to get away from the elevator.
Why are you distracted by the elevator?
You got
Just
both
go
of
to
them
the-
now.
Just go to Ellie. Everyone get in.
Oh, wrong person. Dude, the other Louis left.
Friend yelling, kill yourself.
Where will we leave?
No. I want to gamble, guys. I want to gamble.
Okay.
Oops.
I don't want to be part of your vote.
I don't want to be part of your vote in a while.
You know I could stop distracting.
Dang, this roleplay
What's
got
up, Brescia?
It got really dramatic.
Why are you on character AI right now?
What the fuck?
No, I was doing it. I was on character AI, waiting for you guys to die on your last round.
Rudy, I thought you were some weird fucked up twisted bro. That was such a weird look. His horns, like, or not horns, his antlers look so strange whenever he's dashing. You gotta get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah. I like Rudy. Rudy's a nice twisted. For being basic, pretty nice. I think he's the only basic tune that. Well, no, I was gonna say. Well, yeah, he's the only basic tune because Connie's are rare. So, like, she doesn't really count as basic tune.
What?
Rar.
That blows.
You're basic?
Oh my god, shut the hell up.
Get to
Wait,
the
is it
elevator.
Barney Common?
I'm at the elevator.
Aaron, get to the elevator. Jeez.
I'm at the elevator.
Get to the elevator. I see you down the hall.
Right at the elevator.
I see you down the hall, you liar.
Hi.
You
Aaron, I'm
ready
not
to
pulling
grab
you
me?
in.
You ready to grab me? Thank you.
No,
Not for you.
what are you doing?
Dandy. I can afford a band-aid now, please.
Homosexual.
Connie. I think it's Connie. I think it's Yada.
Oh, hi, Connie.
Oh, they can't watch.
Oh, did you ask them if they wanted
Yeah.
to watch? Dude, this is probably gonna be my last run because my computer does not like Roblox.
Damn. What's up, Goob?
I couldn't find a single machine.
What's up, guys? I'm 16. I'm the new player on the basketball team. I'm really excited to play. Mr. Scott, we know it's you.
We know it's you. We know you're not 16. We know you're in your mid-40s. We know you're 45.
He's just 21, but already went through like 3 midlife crises.
Russia, get off your stupid ability, mate.
What is Rush's ability? I'm confused.
So it increases, like, the extraction and skill check.
Increases your skill check size and it also, increases your
Yeah.
chance of getting a skill check.
I hope you understand that I love you a lot.
It doesn't
Oh,
make
that's
your
the
stat.
wrong verse.
It's just a skill check thing. I
It's
guess
a
it
skill
kinda helps
check
you,
thing.
quote-unquote, focus more.
What does the snakes in a can do, anyways?
Snakes in a can lowers your ability cooldown.
Oh,
Yeah.
because Rudy has that.
Yeah, Rudy's sometimes.
Is that
has
Flutter?
multiple track.
No, that's Louis.
I was like, I don't know. Shit.
I saw someone going really fast and I was like, is that Flutter? No, it was just Louis.
Ah, yes.
Little did I
The
know.
Indomitable boops of our good mate's computer.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my bad. My bad.
We just hear it's just a normal background effect this time, like all the time now.
It's just a boop.
Boop.
Beep.
It's just natural sit stuff.
That's just all you hear in the background. Boop. Boop.
Aw.
Ding
pup.
dong.
Beep boop. Beep boop boop boop.
Pop beep.
Beep boop boop boop. Doodaloo. Doodoo. Doodoo.
Start digging in your butt. Wait, where did that even come from and why is it
Beep
pop
beep beep doop doop doop. Start digging in your butt, twin. It's
What?
a SpongeBob meme. Mr. Krabs, start digging in your butt, twin.
Russia, get the hell. Get to the back.
I'm waiting for Rudy. Wait, where the fuck is Rudy? Oh, what the
in the
fuck?
elevator?
Yoink. Sprout's
You
getting his aggro tapes. Sprout's getting his aggro tapes. Dandy is a little bit angry. Let's just let him. He can be pissy anytime he wants. Rudy's just staring at him. What you doing, Rudy? What you doing there? You moonwalking on him? Don't do it. Oh, you're doing that. You don't need my help?
God.
Fine.
Oh no, we got.
No.
We got Dandy.
No. We got Dandy? No, the fuck we didn't.
His face showed up
No,
on
we
the-
didn't. That's not. That doesn't.
We might get him floor. We might get him.
Dude, boxing scared the shit out of me, guys.
Rudy's
69.
using their dash ability to take machine, and I don't. like it.
Lol. Yoink.
I was going for a machine, and he dashes in front of it and
Lol. Imagine. Someone's car is going off.
takes. Rude.
Yeah, it's mine. My bad. Sorry.
Oh my god.
You have a
finally got
car?
vehicle.
Oh my gosh, you have a
car?
vehicle?
Yeah, I got a vehicle.
You got a
Plus-
vehicle.
Your
Vehicle?
vehicle is the bicycle.
You got V's hickle? What the fuck is the hickle? What the... Why am I lagging?
What the heck, dude?
What's a hickle? You got V's hickle.
Do you feel inspired yet?
Heel?
Am I inspiring enough for you yet?
No.
Mr.
Have I inspired you
Krabs,
yet?
start digging in your butt, twin.
You got my inspiration a little late, buddy.
Yeah, I see that.
I don't want your instrument. Instrument? Instrument.
Repeat that one. No, I think we need meta.
Instrumentation. I can't say it in that voice. Oh my gosh, I cannot say it in that voice. I think I'm. Oh my gosh, that's how you know that I'm getting sick too. I just can't talk anymore.
Masturbation.
Your what? My earbud fell out. What? All I heard was masturbation?
Yeah, that's
What? Oh, it's me.
oh,
Back up.
Where's the-
Oh, back up over here.
Masturbation.
Yeah, I'm gonna find the other one. That's right, I heard that story over and over again. I am finding the other one. Where are you? That's right, I heard the story. Don't really like how it ends. Where the fuck is Yada? Where is she?
It's me. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I got both of them.
Okay.
Dude, I hope Lars.
I'm gonna grab
Lars
this
takes
bee.
place like 200 years
This
in the
buck.
future.
Fuck, fuck, fuck. 200 years in the future, bro.
Yeah.
Honoring.
Steven would be
I don't-
dead.
No, he wouldn't.
200 years in the future? Yeah.
He can control his age.
Yeah, but Steven would probably be depressed because he watched all of his friends and family die.
Yeah.
Technically, he only lost one friend and one family member.
His dad, Connie,
Yeah, still, I'd be very
all the
impressed if
people
I
in the
was
town.
alive.
I mean, he can always fuse with Connie and then she'll stay alive forever thanks to that.
I mean, technically, if you also
Yeah, but
think
that
about
would
it,
be
he lose
horrifying.
Sadie. He technically
Yeah,
already
he'd
lost
lose.
Lars.
Yeah.
Lars to life.
Yeah, he literally is traumatized.
He can always bring him back.
I always come back.
I always come back.
Like no joke.
He
He
always
can always
could
bring
make
him back.
people come to life until he did it with, you know.
I think everybody's in.
Exactly.
I think.
Okay.
I think everybody but Yada, actually.
Yeah, but I don't think they're actually gonna make Steven kill himself.
Oh wait, no, we don't have Yada anymore. Yada's fucking gone. Dandy's pissed off. Well, we're just gonna
Guys,
Start digging in your butt. Queen.
Dancifer, start digging in your butt, twin. Thank you, Ko-Fi Bot.
it's kind of wild that I got a 4-7 though.
Literally.
Dandy, show up so I can die. My game is so laggy.
I'm not letting you die to Dandy. Louis! Oh, Louis! Louis! Where are you? I gotta find him. Hi, Louis. Someone opened Roger.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me either.
I didn't live so hard to him. I did it for the funnies.
Fucking dumbass.
I did it for the funny.
Russia just took a tape in front of me.
Bruh.
I don't think Sprout cares.
Hi.
Yada dee yada da do. There's only me.
Why are you distracting right by me?
Because I know how stealth works.
So Mateo, how are you enjoying the yonder pouches?
What's up? What's up, bro?
What?
What's up, guys?
Oh, you don't have the phone ban.
I don't have the what now?
The what?
What is it
The
talking
yonder pouches? The fuck?
It's a Texas phone ban. They banned phones completely in schools, and you have to put your phone in like these stupid ass patches.
They did that in Oklahoma too, but like you don't have to put your phone in those pouches. I don't think. I don't know. I haven't been in school for like 2 years.
Yeah, I don't get that for my school. My school literally doesn't care. They literally go, oh, well, if you get your, like, practically if you get your phone taken or anything, it's probably because, well, you left it out and you're not supposed to practice.
I've been graduated for almost 2 years.
I've been graduated for 3 or 4.
I don't want to talk about it.
My perception of time has started to.
Oh, Dandy's here. I'm not letting you. You motherfucker.
I had an air horn and everything.
You actual motherfucker. You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. You actual idiot.
Why are you calling me an idiot? My game was going at like 2 frames a second.
Okay. But that doesn't mean you didn't have that doesn't mean you had to die.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I'm getting brightening. Just watch out. Oh. He's fucking slow. I forgot about that.
he's hella slow, right?
I completely forgot about that.
Honestly, you could probably distract him at 3.
Yeah, but I don't want to risk that. What? All I heard was sketty. Are you saying spaghetti? Let me know when the one by Broken is done.
Sounds spaghetti.
Cause I'm distracting by good until the one by Broken is done.
When it is almost done, it's almost you can start coming over,
Okay.
and it's done.
Okay, go out the back way, don't go out the front way.
Yep, I got you.
She's dust to dust.
Well, this was fun. I'm gonna make some food. And
Have fun.
I'm gonna go play Phasma with Jackie and Matt.
We're getting
Nice.
ditched for Phasmophobia. Can you believe this?
Literally.
So I can go eat.
And Phasmophobia. Damn.
And Phasmophobia.
Food and Phas.
Phasmophobia?
We're getting ditched for food and Phas.
Well, I mean, I can stay while I cook. Like, when I eat, I'm gonna leave anyways.
This is, I can't believe this.
can't believe this.
Absolutely believe it.
Careful, I think the machines are gonna pop at the same time.
Okay. Oh, yep. Okay.
I was right.
I'm bolting. I'm running. And I'm going. And I'm running. And I'm still going. Shoes, dust to dust.
Do you think you can...
Ah, where were we? What? What?
Can you tell people to stay at the back of the alley while I do my job? Just so I don't like have 50 million people trying to for my character to walk onto. Thank you.
From Goob.
I love how you put like that. That's so funny.
Hi, Connie.
Connie.
Is this a fucking free floor again, bro?
I don't know, probably.
I'm ill.
I'm ill though.
Oh, Shrimpo's here.
Rollers aren't that bad.
I got Shrimpo. You can say I'm plastered. 'Cause I hit the wall. Oh my gosh, I can't sing that.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Boy.
Boy! Yeah, We should jump him. ditching us for food and fast? Damn.
Crazy.
Yeah. See the glasses half full. Brush is just staring at me. That's concerning. She's like staring at me from like the corner. The other corner. There's none. There's literally none. Hi, Connie.
I'll get out your way.
Although Connie's in here. Goodbye, and I hope I don't choke on my vomit tonight. Hi, Rudy. Bye, Rudy. This is funny. Just watching them come in and come out. What might I killed you both? Hi, Rudy. Bye, Rudy. Please take my keys. I don't. Hi, Rudy. Bye, bye, Rudy. Connie's in the machine that you just did.
Okay. Well, we're on the last machines, anyways.
Wait.
I think.
Hi, Rudy. Someone should say get to elevator.
Well, I don't like know if someone's on the last one.
I'm going down and I'm
'Cause we
taking
got five
you
people.
away.
4, 5. We got 5. I don't know who's on the last one. Is the last one? Oh. Yeah, I got popped out like the same time. Man.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything about that.
Just walk. Get Rudy.
Get ready. It's the
Get Rudy just fucking hits the wall. Let's not die.
No, I won't.
I'm glad that okay, I'll go with you then. I'm glad that
Yay.
nobody else picked times up. Like nobody immediately went for that.
Oh my god. I did not want to do all that stress and work. Blech.
I just don't want everybody to fucking die. You have come back. Welcome back. You were gone for a long time.
Welcome back. What?
Ooh, a band-aid.
Who said welcome back? Who said welcome back?
Elma Gecko's back.
Oh, hi, Alma.
Elma
When did
Gecko.
Alma? When did Alma leave? When did Alma?
Like,
go?
a while ago. Where is the third?
Nah, Alma's been in chat the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
My chat's been dead! All I saw before Ko-Fi bot was just, oh shit, breaking my
I was
ankles.
mentally stuck on what I was like.
Fuck! Oh my god, I accidentally killed Sprout!
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I accidentally killed Sprout. I panicked because Brusha was there. And then Sprout was there.
I love how they go, oh, and then they're like, no, don't worry.
I feel bad because I have a band-aid on me.
That's crazy.
OMG, they killed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My mouse was acting up again. It keeps on acting like up and trying.
I think you might need a new mouse, mate.
This one's been alive for a couple of years, since probably like what 2020. It's fine.
I think you might need a new
I
mouse.
don't want to get a new
genuinely.
one.
You can
This
go from,
one's
like,
been
the
with me.
Dollar General.
I don't trust those ones.
I don't know, that scared me.
Should I use it? I feel bad. The Band-Aid. Egg pyramid? Egg pyramid? Egg?
Pyramid.
Egg pyramid. Hell yeah. Oh, you skipped one. Egg pyramid. Let's go. Get to elevator. Get to elevator.
Yep.
Appetite, you help me grow. Oh my
Rudy,
love.
get in the elevator. Where are you going?
My desire may prove your doom. You have the thing. I don't know what Rudy's doing. Come here, watch out! I feel bad. Maybe if there's a Band-Aid here. Oh, there is a box of chocolate. Should I?
I got it. I mean, it can.
I feel bad. Is that a pancake? Oh wait, no, that's a... I can't see. I can't see what it is. It looks like a raccoon.
I think it's. I don't know. I think it's a cat.
It looks like a pancake.
I think their character is like a cat kind of character.
El Macatco? Shelly!
Jesus, you scared the living shit out of me. Oh, Rod. Oh, wait, no. Raz and Daz is here, though.
Shelly!
I got a sprinkle on me.
Okay, I'm going to Broken.
Okay, I'll take the broken for you.
Yo.
I keep avoiding the freaking tapes because I'm like, Sprout. Here you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
But then I accidentally killed Sprout. I can't stretch in the middle. Also, Aaron and Salem, I shit you not, tried drowning me.
Okay, I only did it twice.
They
Aaron did it
tried
more than me.
drowning me.
Aaron
My
did it
mouse is
more
doing the
than
weird thing
I-
again. I can stretch though while I'm distracting.
Dude, I legit think that you need a new mouse.
Do you want to buy one? You want to buy one for me? Thank
Said
you.
I
Thank you
was
for
going to buy
offering. Oh my gosh. Thank you for offering to buy me a new mouse.
God, buy
Oh my
yourself your own mouse. You have a job.
I don't have money. I legitimately don't have money right now. I have to pay off my bike.
I know. I'm saying when you like pay off your
I
shit.
know.
though.
Yeah, after I get the bike, I'm gonna save up. Salami! Hey, I only did it twice.
I did. I only did it twice. I don't want to hear that.
What did you do twice? I completely forgot.
I drank twice.
Oh, yeah. Aaron did it, like, so many times.
Yeah, he did it more than me. Why am I getting pinned on this?
Like, I think he got it, like, what, 8 times?
He did it 7.
I thought you made it to 10. Because you did 2.
No, we made it to 9.
Oh, yeah.
We did it 7. I did.
Yeah, they were trying to... And then you made it to 10!
I didn't do it.
Hey, there's a stealth candy over here, by the way.
Probably Aaron, because I only did 2, so he probably did 8. Yeah. Because I was saving up my points.
They need to rework this map.
Dude, what do you mean? It's already been revamped a little bit. What?
We need better... We
Oh
need...
my god. Fine.
I
It's
accidentally
fine.
killed Sprout.
Hi, Aaron.
I.
I accidentally killed Neptus. I feel so bad.
Girl.
Who you call
Aaron
girl?
leaves them, because then Sprout dies.
Oh
You
fuck.
good?
Oh
Damn.
fuck. Oh
So I'm a
fuck.
bad
Oh
omen.
fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
So me and Sid got to floor 22. You were there. Yeah, you were there.
I got to floor 28.
My highest is still 27.
Mine is 28.
Mine is 28.
Mine used to be 26.
Yeah, that one stream.
Those are back
with
in the
Uni
Goog days.
You killed me in that stream.
Hee hee.
The fucking
Don't
Update
tee-hee
on the
me.
last.
yeah, Rudy was on it last I checked. I don't know when he, but I'm on one, so.
Dude. I'm gonna love if I see that one clip of Sid being like, I'm not gonna let you die. Me immediately runs into Dandy.
Because bro,
I forgot Brusha was here.
how do you forget we have Brusha?
I forgot.
To be honest, Mayfresh is kind of forgettable.
Waiting dial.
We literally are. Like, we're like at the very farthest away from him.
Yeah. Waiting dial. And I find that hilarious, by the way.
I'm really hoping it's gonna be
Guess
Peddler's
who
floor,
just
honestly.
burnt their hand?
Don't do that, dude.
Brett, why?
I was putting spaghetti in the pot, boiling water splashed up. Ow.
Ooh!
Dude, I was dumping out the boiling water, right? Because I was making for my Alfredo, and I burnt myself all from the boiling water as well.
Damn. Dude, Rudy is so fucking bright. Ah!
Well, bro, died.
My mouse! My
you
fucking
died.
mouse. My mouse. My mouse. I need a new mouse, I need a new computer, I need a new chair. This one's like squeaky. Every time I move, it's like that. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? What was that noise, dude? Like, I'm sitting here like, bro. I'm fucking dead. I'm dead on the floor. It's, those two and Cosmo. My mouse just it keeps on like trying to turn me around, and it's like, okay, I can actually hydrate. Actually, I forgot to hydrate. Here, hydration. It's lemonade. Good hydration.
Gotta hydrate, man.
I rehydrated. Yippee.
Sid, I don't think you fully did all your 9 hydration.
I did. You were trying to drown me. No, Brusha has 2 stealth.
Really?
Yeah, Brusha has 2.
It wasn't like I was gonna latch him on.
That's why I accidentally killed, like, that's how I accidentally killed Sprout, because I panicked because Brusha was, like, right there whenever I was trying to, like, circle around a little thingy, and, then, like, I fucking panicked again because I saw Sprout with Tisha, and then I got hit, and then Sprout got hit.
What the hell is Rudy doing?
Oh, hey, there's where I died. Or, like, there's where I accidentally killed Sprout.
Yeah, but what
'cause-
is Rudy?
Brusha was on the machine that was right there. I don't know what Rudy's doing. I don't know what he's doing.
Check Repo chat.
When did I get healed? When did this happen? Oh wait. When was I at 2 hearts? I was on 1. Wait, what is happening? Wait. I'm confused. I think I'm losing my mind.
Mateo, do you like what I'm making?
You're
Noodles.
making spaghetti. Yes, I love spaghetti. I'm, however, having pizza bagels for dinner.
You're having pizza bagels?
Yeah.
Oh, I want pizza bagels. That sounds so good. Rudy's just standing there.
Yeah, well, I don't know
Dude.
why. Are they AFK? They never said that they were going AFK, did they?
No?
Dude, people have been doing that a lot today. That's the 4th person.
Rudy, do machines.
If they don't reply, they're probably just AFK.
Kill.
I can't do anything about it either, because, well, I'm distracting.
Kill.
Kill John Lennon. Kill John Lennon. Oh, damn it.
Coming! We're back. I'm on call me. So, perfect time.
Sid,
Cosmo was just walking into a wall.
I can't believe you got rid of the old Rock SMP chat when we had the whole. What should we name
I'm
the
trying to find, like, a
SMP? And
flight.
someone said cock and ball.
What? Oh. There was too much drama going on in there.
There was?
Like, tension and whatnot.
Oh, is that why you got rid of it? I thought you just got rid of it because you were being annoying.
Funny
Because I
pressure
remember me
moment.
and Water just making fun of you one day, and then the next day you deleted the chat.
Yeah. There was kind of some drama.
Well, that's a lot.
And let's not talk about it here.
Oh, I think I'm caught up on that drama. I just wasn't there for it during the group chat.
I'm watching Brush from a van window.
Why?
Because Brush is the only one doing things. I don't know.
Oh, did you die?
Yeah.
Oh.
My mouse is acting up. It's acting weird. Like, I honestly don't know why it's doing this. Like, I'm gonna take the battery out real quick and then put it back in.
How long have you had the mouse?
Since, like, 2020.
That would just still be
You just
fine.
gotta- Oh, a foot cramp! Oh, shit. Oh. You know, the ones... What?
If you got a foot cramp, immediately stand on it.
El Macaco, stand on it. Said Aaron.
Yeah,
Don't
seriously,
take
if you
mega-
just stand on those
Don't
for a
take
minute.
medical advice from strangers, but... Yeah.
It's gonna hurt like hell.
You
but
know,
it goes away a lot quicker if you just stand up.
Yeah. So, you know, like, if you're, like, sleeping and whatnot, and, like, you go to stretch in your sleep, and then suddenly your, like, calf is just, like...
Ugh.
That hurts. And it happens
Dude.
so often, and it's, like... I wake up, and I'm, like... Ugh. Oh, Rudy's
Dude.
going around now.
To me, I just lose the ability to walk for like 15 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
The cramp will end, and I'll try
It
to stand
hurts.
up. My leg doesn't work.
That stuff hurts. Okay, I'll hydrate. Hydration.
Spagooty.
Rudy gave up.
Yo.
This Rudy's just given up. That's a signal of dehydration? Really? It is?
Yeah.
Dude, I have that happen to me all the time. He had a fucking med kit? He had a fucking med
What?
kit?
Did you ask the one for heals?
No, because he was the only one left alive. He fucking died.
Okay, I'm back.
He had a med kit.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh my gosh.
I got pizza bagels.
I want some.
No.
Oh. Cramps happen when you have mostly dehydration. Damn.
Fun fact, that's also how tension headaches work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Slay!
Oh, why is it hot? It just came off the button, right?
But can happen from other factors too. Oh. ABC for Dosmo run. Oh, Cosmo. They corrected themselves.
It can also be, your iron levels are low or you're not moving enough.
It's probably a
So in
mixture
other
of all
words,
three.
Yeah, you're suffering.
I am suffering.
That is the boy Virgin.
I barely have any money right now. I need more money.
I should have had don't get a lot of cramps.
Yeah, lucky you.
Why is Yada inside of me?
Sorry.
Huh?
Why is she inside of me? Why do I have a Yada inside of me?
Hello?
Why were there like 4 Yadas right there? But cramps are the less that can happen. A muscular contraction is worse. I think that's what actually happened, like, with my cat. Why are they saying come on out? What the fuck? As Poppy walk, she gets jump scared by a scary Twisted. She almost screamed as that point. She ran away as fast as she car in a safe place. She does the machines fast. She doesn't want 5 to be stuck.
What is happening?
Yeah, that's definitely... I think that's what happens every so often for me.
Sid, why were you reading a Wattpad fan fiction on
Why'd you fart?
What?
Why is this blot's name Baldicus? His actual name is Joe Mama 1 2 3 4 5 6 7.
Okay, gang. I'm dipping to go eat.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
I kinda gotta go.
Baldicus.
I kinda don't want to be in a VC while I eat.
Are you leaving me?
I don't want to go on mute.
Honestly, I have been live for basically like 3 hours.
We should stay live for another 15 just because, you know.
What do you mean? For another 15, what do
For
you
no
mean?
particular reason at all.
Why for another, why?
No reason in particular.
What happens in 15 minutes?
Don't worry about it. Let's go.
What happens at
Let's go do another
8:30?
run. Let's go do another run.
What happens at 8:30? I'm concerned. Are we just doing a duo?
Yeah.
What happens at 8:30? I'm very concerned. You can barely hear them? Oh shit. Oh shit. Discord turn up. Start talking.
La 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 la.
Oh, that's not the right one.
Bruh.
I have 2 that are named Discord.
Why?
Is
Ha-
that better? Let me check.
Let's talk.
Check.
Let's talk.
Start talking.
I think I burnt my tongue.
I said, I think I turned it up a little bit too much. I think I turned it up a little too much. Okay, keep talking. Just go like, is that good? Is that good? Is that good?
Mhm.
You want to know what's really loud? You want to know what's really, really loud?
What?
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Is that Tattletale? Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! I love Tattletale.
Run. Down, down,
I'm not watching Tattletale lore videos now. Tattletale's awesome. I love Tattletale.
Not the wake up. Should I drop a heart immediately?
Dude, do what you want. I don't care. Shit.
You're Shelly. I can just walk around.
My computer's beeping, and I'm sorry for that.
It's just a normal. It's just a normal Salem sound.
At this point, yeah. Oh, hey.
Oh hey, what's up?
Yeah, you know, nothing much. What about you?
I have merch somehow. I don't
That's
even
crazy.
have my own merch.
That's
Yeah, something that I
crazy.
don't have.
That's
Don't disconnect, Gramp. I mean the computer, Salem.
That's crazy.
Don't disconnect,
Funny.
Gramps.
That's crazy.
Oh man, I dropped a heart.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no! Our table! It's broken!
I'm walking towards you. I'm chasing you. Did you hear? No, you didn't. No, you
What?
didn't. No, you didn't. You did not.
Oh.
You heard nothing.
You have doomed us
You
all.
heard nothing. Don't forget to join the Discord. Not now. Not now. Stream Elements. Don't. Not now. Beep. God damn it. Hey Siri. Set a 1-minute timer. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. Rubber room. Rubber room with rats. Rats made me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. Rats made me
Well,
crazy.
equals 3K points.
Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. Rats made me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. Rats made me crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. Rats made me crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A room with rats, and rats made me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once.
Emma,
They locked me in a room.
hello.
Rubber room. Rubber room with rats. Rats made me crazy. Crazy! I was crazy once. They let me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. And rats made me crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. They let me to fuck. I fucked up.
I can say that. You're on 1 HP.
I fucked up. You clapped? You're clapping? You're
Wild.
clapping? You're clapping at my demise? You're clapping at Louis' demise? There I see Brightney. Oh, if you see me. My mouse is still breaking. Oh my gosh. Where the fuck am I? What the hell? I was going the other way.
Mm.
Ooh, don't mind if I do. What's up, Louie? Melt with me. Friday, I'm in love again. If you still want me, come and find me in my coffin. Hold my hands, we'll dance. There's a 12-step on my brain. I'd kill the man I am for one more chance to be yours, baby. No, I ain't begging. I'm just saying, it's an option. Don't let the latest be the last name in the coffin if you see me. Oh my gosh, it's a creeper. Oh man. Ain't always hell for you. If you see me. I'm concerned at what's gonna happen at 8:30.
Don't worry about it.
I'm very concerned. What are you doing?
Don't
What are
worry
you
about it.
planning? Is it
Don't worry
somebody's
about it.
stream?
Maybe.
Oh my gosh. Let me guess. Tuesday. 8:30
No,
on
it's not Tuesday. They don't do
Bagel my
Thursdays.
Bagel
Yeah.
my Bagel?
Yeah.
8:30 p.m. on a Thursday?
Yeah.
Is that really why?
Yeah.
You really wanted me to wait 15 minutes
Yeah.
for that?
Yeah. It might even be a little bit longer, but yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm on last! I'm on last! Everyone get to Ellie!
Okay. You're on Get to Ellie?
Everyone get to Ellie.
The what?
Creeper. Aw, man.
So way back in the mine.
In the mine's got our
the
pickaxe swinging
from
side
side to side, side
side
to side.
side.
I think honestly, one of the streams that I might do soon, is
Whee!
probably going to be an art stream. That's what I'm hopefully planning.
Heck yeah.
Ugh, took you long enough.
Hey!
Like honestly, I kind of want to do another drawing with chat thing. No, I want to gamble. And remember,
Stay gay.
yes. I got a jerk button.
Oh, heck yeah, I got a pop. I thought you were saying yes to mine. I was like, huh? It's like, Sid, I already know you're gay. Shut up.
Oh,
I'm just upset because it's the truth.
oh,
Oh my god.
oh my gosh! I can't believe you just said that about me. Your best
Oh my
friend.
god. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Balls
What?
equals egg. Egg and egg.
Oh, why did Triple latch on
Oh,
to
I
me?
don't know. Egg and egg equals balls. But egg plus egg. Waffle.
So,
I just ate your waffle. How do you feel about that? I ate all of your balls and all of your waffle. Hi, Rock. I know that prophecy. Oh?
The prophecy?
That prophecy?
There's a prophecy?
There's a prophecy?
What prophecy? I don't know about
What
those damn prophecies.
prophecy? What prophecy is there? How the fuck did I lose Shrimpo again?
I don't know.
Bro, get back over here. Get back over here. What prophecy are you speaking of? The balls? The waffle prophecy? Oh? Oh? The waffle prophecy?
That's crazy.
Thank you. I feel inspired.
I'm so proud. I'm glad you feel inspired by moi.
I ate the waffle.
Huh?
I ate the waffles. Wait, I just realized. Was there a prophecy written on one? How old were those waffles? How old were they?
Rolex eating old waffles confirmed.
I actually really like Poffles. They're waffles but made like pancakes. So you don't have like the oil or butter, I think, in them. So they're like puffy. And they're good. So I call them Poffles. And putting like
Rhymes with good. Where's the last machine?
I don't know.
Dude, I'm gonna spend 15 minutes just looking for this damn machine. Where is it?
Don't worry, it's all part of the prophecy. Now I'm concerned. What's all a
Gang,
part
I
of the
sound close out of
prophecy?
Discord.
What did
Hold
I
up.
do? What did I do? What did I do? What's the ending of the prophecy? I'm scared. What is it? Explain the prophecy to me.
Dude, I sound close
Metamorphosis?
out of Discord.
I'm gonna what?
Oh, I found the last machine.
Yippee! I'm going to metamorphosize?
What?
Am I going to metamorphosize? Am I gonna turn into, what am I gonna turn into? I'm gonna turn into a waffle? I don't want to be a waffle. I'm scared. I'm scared. I will see? What? I'm scared. Salem, I'm scared.
As you should be. What's up?
Am I really gonna metamorphosize?
I don't even know what that means.
Am I gonna metamorphosize? Am I gonna go through metamorphosis?
I don't know what that means.
I'm scared. This is scary.
You're fine.
This is very scary. I am horrified. Terrified. Petrified. This is scary. How long does metamorphosis take? Does it take a minute? Does it take 5 minutes? 10 minutes? 15 minutes?
5 hours?
An hour?
2 seconds? Hi, Brittany.
1 second?
0 seconds? Bruce, it's only metamorph.
Infinite? Infinity. Will I
Imagine.
gain the power and the knowledge of the Infinity Stones? October
That's crazy.
31st. Halloween?
Well, said good luck.
Halloween?
Yep.
I'm gonna metamorphosize on Halloween?
Yep.
Oh gosh, I'm
In
scared.
2 months.
I'm scared. Salem, what do I do?
I don't know, you'll be fine.
Scared.
You'll be fine.
What am I going to metamorphosize in? What am I gonna metamorphosize into? I gotta see what's gonna happen on October 31st. Oh my gosh, besides Halloween.
Bro has to go live on Halloween.
I have to go live on Halloween.
Just to find out. And then watch you never get your answer.
This is scary. Come on, can I type and drive? Now I know what typing and driving feels like, bro. Please, I'm scared. I don't know what to do whenever I metamorphosize.
I don't know, mate.
I'm gonna metamorphosize? Loose lips like
Crazy.
this, but Captain, will you go down? Float your boat, go overboard, and hope you won't drown. Tell me what. Rawl will return
Hey,
to
what's
help you fulfill your destiny. Until then, bye. Oh no. Oh no, I'm
Bro,
scared. I'm scared.
Here, feel inspired.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I don't.
You're
This isn't making me feel inspired. I just hit a book.
Well, that one wasn't even my fault.
The waffle prophecy. This is terrifying. I have more stamina. Yippee. Who's here?
I don't know.
It's Brusha. Hi, Brusha. Who else is here? It's Finn. I gotta find Finn. I don't know where Finn is. I see an air horn, though. Oh, Finn! Hi, Finn! Where the fuck did Finn go? Oh. He's approaching you.
What?
Finn was approaching you.
I went AFK because I had to like take a screenshot and send it to Vitals real quick about my Windows update.
It's easy. Hi.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.
Waffle. Hi.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye. Hi.
Bye.
Bye. I love how you run around just.
Hi.
Hi. Bye.
Bye. I'm scared.
That's probably fine, mate.
What's gonna happen on October 30th, though?
I don't know.
stream
We'll
on
find
October
out.
30th now. I gotta stream on Halloween. It'll probably
Yeah.
be Dandy's World, the Halloween update.
On the last day of the Halloween update.
I don't think
Continues
it'll be the last
longer
day. I think
than-
it's gonna be like they might do what they did with Easter and have it be like a month after.
Maybe.
Maybe, I'm maybe crazy, but I didn't lose it. No, I set it free. I can't ignore what's on the dance floor and the rhythm in my heart, and I still move my feet. I am definitely getting sick. And then my knee, like, bro, my knee is like literally, it hurts so much. Like, every time I try to walk, it's just like pain.
That's
I really
not
need
good,
to get
man.
that checked out, honestly. I like how all of them were over there.
What? Where's the last one?
I don't know.
Oh my god. Here, feel inspired.
Thank you!
You're welcome. I'm out of stamina.
Why are
Oh, I found
Why
it.
are you out of stamina?
I only have 135 stamina, alright.
No.
Shelly only has a max of 125. Oh.
Well, now it's more. She can have more of a max.
Well, that's just her default. Okay, I'm almost done with the machine.
Okay.
Okay, I'm at the elevator.
one-handed, bro. Not
Nice.
even using my mouse. What if I just do it like this? I just turn very slowly now.
That'd be wild, mate. Huh. I have 267 tapes.
I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. I'm walking here.
Boy, I'm walking
I'm
in.
walking here. I'm gonna try this, bro. Toodles. Oh, fuck.
I don't think you should try it with Toodles, mate.
I don't either. YOLO! Yeah, I have an emergency just in case.
Okay. What's
Okay,
up?
what's up?
Oh, you know, nothing much.
Yeah, nothing much. I wonder if I can hook my controller up.
Probably.
Yeah,
I
probably.
mean, it is controller compatible.
Yeah. There's one in
I
the broken area.
Down the street. Burn, 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 burn.
This is just how I'm gonna distract now. Because my mouse doesn't want to work with me anymore. This is how we're distracting now. It's 8:37. I'm gonna go to the big elevator, the good elevator.
Okay.
Because there's one in there. Oh, there is one in there. Tapes. Yummy. I like how you're the only one that can actually hear this.
Wee.
Woo. I like how you're getting them completed faster than like some of the public runs I've been in.
It's because I use a magnifying glass. I would use the participation award, but I like not
Among
being
Us.
slowed down by Finn.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us.
Among Us. Sussy imposter. Sussy imposter. Sussy imposter.
Yeah, I'm in.
Sus. You're kind of sus, dude.
Wow.
You're kind of sus.
Wow. I like the
You're
Snaggletooth. I love
sus.
Snaggletooth. I do. Snaggletooth look awesome. On characters. Not on me, but, you know. Characters with Snaggletooth are cool.
Yoink. Hi, Shrimpo. Oh my gosh, there's so many capsules over here. It's Louie and Shrimpo. Home is where the heart is. You ain't homeless, but your heart is. I can't go that deep anymore. But at the same time, I can't go higher pitch.
You lost Shrimpo.
How? No, I didn't. Louis is on his way, though.
Oh, yeah, I see him.
Yoink. There's
Shrimpo's
one
so-
broken area. Oh my
Oops.
gosh. What the fuck is
My
going
bad.
on?
My bad, I didn't pay attention. My bad, sorry!
I think legitimately, my voice is, getting worse and worse.
Yeah, I think your voice is dying. I think you need to, take a break with your voice.
I still have an eject button. That is such an odd item for me to have. By the way, there's a machine in the broken elevator.
Wait, there's one in the broken?
Yeah.
I'm on the way!
I can be, what is it, the Geiger counter?
You like your inspiration?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I could make you feel inspired, man.
Yippee! Ain't no love in my man. Shoo-ah. Ain't no love in my man. Can you hear that, baby? Ain't no love in my man. Shoo-ah. It's so weird that I can do it in that voice now. That's so strange to do.
Oh my god, they're live! I think.
What? What?
I said I think they're live.
Oh.
But we're kind of in the middle of a run, so...
I just kind of gave up on using my mouse because it's more. I can do this now.
Yeah.
Although I can't press my up and down, the up and down keys, or else it'll just stop my character.
Yeah.
Let me go. Whoa. Culture's not your friend. Hey, fuck your culture. I ain't got no culture. It's only culture, and it's more afraid of you. You're
You're gonna ruin your voice, man.
I'm not even. Oh, gotta go eat. Be back later. We are going to go soon. Because I've been live for 3 hours.
Should we die on the next... Should we die on the next floor?
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Whoa. I don't wanna. And if I don't, have an awesome night and remember to chew cables. Oh yeah.
Tables.
You know what I have?
What? Joke's on you, I was almost done with the machine.
I know. Have fun. Bye bye.
Boy. I could have now.
Hey, I got
They're
some
going ahead.
goodies for sale. That is not good.
I mean, that's good.
We have the same idea. It's called a Manic episode, and you're getting
And you're
8 more episodes.
Yeah, 3 season.
You're getting 8 more episodes. Yippee. Yeah, I'm definitely getting sick. Oh, no mains. Ooh. Ooh. Should we die by Toodles or Louie? Who should kill us?
I don't know, just die whoever you want.
I don't want to die to the fucking demon child. I want.
Huh? Oh, hey, what's up? Ow.
Ha!
Damn it.
I've played in death runs before.
Doing a death
My
run!
mouse is not working with me. Oh my gosh. You wanna know what I still have? Hmm? Oh, Salem, where are you? Oh, Salem,
Yes.
where are you?
Nowhere. I see demon child hit you though. I did see that.
My mouse really is messing up though.
I think you're gonna die before I do.
Because of my fucking mouse.
Excuses. I got stuck. Oh my god. Oh my god, demon child's right there. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Hi. You do know I have a technique called avoid them, right?
Yeah. But I also have a technique. It's called I know how to distract them.
I know how to distract them and lose them onto you.
I've won a couple death runs before.
Yeah, I probably want to be able to do death runs.
I've been playing against like especially in death runs like Astro.
Oh, so the high stealth tunes.
Sing around the rosy.
Pocket full of pose.
Ashes, ashes. We all fall down.
What do you mean we? Who's the we in this scenario? Oh god. Good luck! I was like, what the fuck was that? So I just booked it. I said, nah, I'm not dealing with that. What? Oh, hey. Damn it. Hey, I lasted pretty good against you, let's be real.
What?
I lasted pretty good against you, right?
Yeah.
Yes!
Oh yeah, my mouse is definitely freaking out. I completed 0 machines.
I'm so proud of you.
Yippee! Oh my god. Fucking the sad yippee. Yippee! 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 Oh my god. Yippee! Holy fuck. Alright, chat, y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I hope y'all have a nice day, night, whatever time it is for you. Be cool, be safe, be nice to the rating. Have a nice rock raid. Throwing rocks at you.